I love forgetting to unmute. It's so fun. But how's it going? How's everybody doing? I don't know why. I swear I clicked it. Maybe I'm just crazy? I know I clicked it. Hold on, let me check something. Like, it's there, it's fine. Is it like Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm crazy. Anyways, I was just trying to see if it's like a thing where it's like volume mute per scene, but that's not it, so I don't know why. But I like swear I pressed unmute. I don't know. Anyways. So yeah. Also, what's up, Cosmo? Welcome in. How's it going? How have you been doing? Yeah, we're gonna be working a little bit on Maze game. And then I think we'll also move on to some Starground stuff later today. I don't want to just be doing this. Let's just dive into stuff. I don't know if I'll have... I do apologize for the late start to stream. I've had a very busy day. And I might have to leave a little early today. So, we'll see what happens. Working on a little game with some friends this time. Let's go. That's awesome. It's cool stuff. What's the game about? I'm going to go ahead and look at this reference image. All right. So we're going to model a window right here. If it would let me frickin' select the back. Why can't I? Okay, I guess it's because it's not loop cut or something. Whatever. We'll do it the hard way. Ugh. Why is it? Oh. Oh. That's why. Hold on. Let's merge these vertices in. Who needs stinking vertices? Am I right? Okay, can I loop cut now? No. Whatever. So what are these vertices for? I think these can just go up. I don't think they do anything. Maybe I'm wrong? I wish I had a shortcut for merge at last. Because I do that all the time. Is there a way to add a shortcut for that? Like, if I go into preferences? And over into, like, input or key maps, and then search merge. I mean, I can press M on the keyboard, and that is a little faster. But, oh well. Okay. Now I can cut the centers. Boom. Boom, boom. Can I do a horizontal loop cut? I can. Alright, little scuffed. But we got it. So what we're creating right now is a trading window. I want to get trade set up, so that's what we're doing. We're gonna have a little trader guy in this window that shows up from time to time. So I'm just thinking about how this is gonna sort of look. We're gonna have like a window here for his face. We do need like a slot in the center, so I think we're gonna make this just a little bit wider. By 0.25. We're working on Maze Game today, so I'm just setting up a window, and this is gonna have a trader that shows up in here. It'll make more sense as this starts to kind of piece together. But yeah, basically there's just gonna be a spot where you can trade with people. So can't do that, can I? Did that create vertices? No. Top one creative maze. Names, yeah, it's temporary. We still want to come up with a better name. We just don't know what yet. But if anybody has ideas, let me know. Because I really want to come up with a better name. Okay, so I want this to be kind of inset. So let's do... Where's the toilet on the chair? It hasn't been there for like a year. So it's gone. It's dead forever. What's the name? It's the working title is Maze Game. Because that's what it is. But we definitely want to change that, so... I'm just trying to think about how I want to do this like window over here. Maybe we'll actually do just one, but it's a little larger than the trader window. Because I want this to look cool. So I think we'll do this. We'll have like a little platform here to put the stuff on. This is where you can like place the item and stuff. I don't know how tall this window is. We'll just go ahead and put in the numbers. Yeah, this is going to be just a little like cubby with a list of all the current trades, I think, and then a little like slot that you can put the item onto to trade. So... So the game with mazes, it does have mazes, believe it or not. But yeah. So it's a horror survival game, also roguelite. The whole idea is that you control these little rover guys. send them around the maze and find items to bring back into your little elevator here. And yeah, it does. And yeah. You try to survive as long as you can. There's evil, scary guys inside of the maze, so you kind of want to avoid those guys at all costs. Yeah, I can show it off in a little bit more detail here in a minute, once I kind of figure out this whole window business. Just trying to think of how I want to do this. It's really cool and fun. Well, thank you very much. I think it'll be pretty neat once it's kind of at more of a playable state. That's really the goal right now. It's just getting the main gameplay loop kind of established. So basically, this is Maze Repo. It's not quite the same. I haven't played Repo, but I imagine it's just like Lethal Company. It's not really like a quota kind of thing. It's more of like a how do I describe it? It's a good example game. I don't know. It's more of a focus on like making sure you have like enough food and water. It's more of a survival game, I think, than Repo is. But I don't know. I haven't played Repo, so it's hard to say. But it's not really like Lethal Company, gameplay wise. Yeah, whatever it takes to survive. That's the whole idea. Yeah, there isn't a ton of gameplay stuff implemented right now, but we're getting there. I'll show you guys what we have. Just a second here. Just want to get this little shop area set up. We'll have to do some funny normal stuff here, but this is okay for now. Let's flip these normals really quick. So these normals, say mesh, normal, flip. All right, let's save that really quick. Go into the game, and it'll update in here. It was kind of Lethal Company of the robots, some different mechanics. Yeah, it's not quite that kind of gameplay loop. I'll boot up the game and kind of explain it right now. So. All right, so. We're getting that bug again where the game's really laggy. I really don't know what causes that. I know we said it was like a rendering thing, but I can't actually like figure out why. Because it's not even a running display. Hold on. It's really slow. It's so frustrating. I don't know what this bug is all about. It just like slows the game to a crawl. It's not script functions, it's not audio. It is just graphical, but I don't know like why. You can see the massive bar over here. It's just rendering a viewport. Viewport 1. Whatever that one is. And these Omnilight shadows are really slow. Unless I have like a frame rate cap on right now. Let me search. Like the maximum FPS. Just set it to 1,000 so we don't have any issues with that. Yeah, hopefully it's not super slow. I don't know what is going on with that. We're gonna try and fix that bug today with the performance. It just tanks for some reason. But just ignore that for now. Basically, you have these little rovers here. You can control these guys and drive them around in your tablet over here. There's also another bug where the tablet doesn't go to the camera right now. We're gonna fix that too. But yeah, you can drive these guys around like this. Yeah. And there's different entities that show up in the maze. So there's like, you can see there's an entity down at the end of the hall. I can't actually see him when I directly look at him, but on the edge I can. So he laughs and disappears. He's gonna alert all of the other entities to his location. There's items in the game. This is gonna be the little trading window, so you can put an item up on here, and then it'll get sucked up, and then a new item pops out. So we're just sort of working on that a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why the game just dies with performance. It's a little frustrating. I noticed that this started happening after we did our corkboard texture, so it would be extremely odd, but maybe my textures just runs really bad. Like, let's get rid of it just to see. Just swap it with another temporary, or just delete it in here. I do need to save this material though. Materials. Oh shoot, that was the wrong one. This was the corkboard. It's no big deal. Let's just get rid of those materials. I really, like, doubt that that's the problem, but I don't know what it is anymore. You want me to add a Roomba? Yeah. We could maybe do something like that. Yeah, see, now it's, like, running fine. I don't know if that's actually... Oh, but what? This has a corkboard now? Oh, no. Hold on, I might have, like, messed up this. Is brush metal the same as our corkboard now? No. I just got set to that for some reason. I don't know. So thank you for the speen. I'm just gonna load this up a couple times. Yeah, it probably won't cost as much as Starground. I think this will be like $5, so... It's a much smaller game in scope, so... But yeah, we'll probably do then half the amount of Big Boy Bucks to get it for free. I don't know what is going on, because now it's fine. You can see it's like normal. It's so odd. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do about that. Because yeah, it's totally fine right now. So it's like, what is going on? I don't know. I love bugs like that, guys, so much. It's so great when there's bugs I don't know how to fix. I can put the corkboard back on there and see if that lags again now. No, it's fine now. So it's not the corkboard. It's something weird with the viewports. Like just randomly deciding to take twice as much performance. I don't know what's happening. Because it's like okay now. I mean, it's not great. Can I disable a viewport from operating when it's not in use? Is that a thing I could do? Because we could go into the rover. And then on sub viewport, can I just like turn it off? Yeah, update mode when parent visible. Let's just say when visible. Then I think I can just disable it when the rover's not active. And hopefully that'll help a little bit with performance so we don't have all these viewports rendering actively. I can't even set that visibility, so how do I do that? Update mode. As a render target. Always update the render target. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do about that. I was here before this blew up and made you a quadrangle billionaire. Yeah. I hope it does well. It would be pretty nice. Making pizza if anyone wants a slice. Yo, let's go. Let's welcome in Bobby. I should add occlusion culling. I'm pretty sure there is already occlusion culling built into Godot. That would be wild if there wasn't. I mean, is it like an option I have to enable? Yeah, it's already... Oh no, it's off by default? That's crazy. Why would it be off by default? I guess because it does have a CPU cost. Yeah, this is an enclosed scene, so occlusion culling for this kind of project would actually be very helpful. You need colors? What is that, like a node that I can add? I don't see that. occluder instance 3D nodes. Okay. So you do need to do that. All right, I'll look into that later. But I think the problem has to do with these sub-viewports. I want to figure out how we can disable their rendering. Is there like an option in here that I can like say... I guess I could just do update disabled if it's not active. So if... what is that variable I have in here? Selected. Then we'll say sub-viewport, go ahead and start rendering. We just set its update mode. Render target update mode. Set update mode. And then we can set that to disabled. And if it's active, we can set it to when parent visible. So let's try that. Hopefully that does help a little bit with performance, so they won't actually be rendering if we're not actively looking through them. I mean, the game's running fine right now. I don't know, it's so weird. It's not like there's a whole lot of things that the game has to render right now, but... I mean, render viewports obviously is the highest thing. It's just a render 3D scene. I don't know why it would be 40 milliseconds to render. I don't know what's wrong. It's so weird. I don't know. I really good at these on-the-fly fixes. I appreciate it. I don't know if this actually fixed it, but it certainly can't be bad. Yeah. Is that because you're playing the interface? Well, yeah, like, so what I just did there is I'm disabling the viewports on these rovers because they have their own cameras and viewports so that I can actually see what they're seeing on the display here. Yeah, I just don't know why, though, randomly the project sometimes decides to be slow. Because, like, right now it's not lagging at all, so I don't know. I really don't know what's causing that. It's quite odd. It seems completely random. I can't tell if it's my texture or not. I don't really know. Yeah, it's strange. Anyways, I've come here to ask the same question I did on Discord. Oh, yeah, I think you sent me... Let's see, what did you say? Oh, what is HSE zone? That's just kind of a hangout zone for Maxwell. Oh no, our messages are exposed. This is like Max Hawaiian shirt experience. This is him right here, one of the big boy gamers. Sometimes he does streaming stuff, so he used to have a Discord server. He merged his Discord into the Big Boy Games Discord, and now it's this little section in here. But anyone can chill in there. It's not like a special exclusive thing. Yeah, looks like that's not rendering anymore now that the tablet isn't being held. So that's good. Yeah. I'm gonna go because I got school to do. So yeah, good luck with your games. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. How big is the map? Right now, this is just a stupid test map. It's this big. Each of these pixels represent a 8-meter segment. So this is 19 by 19, which means that we can just figure out the size of this super quick. So it's going to be 152 meters by 152 meters. But I have the kind of generation of this set up so that it can be practically any size. We could go larger or smaller, it doesn't matter. But yeah, like it's odd. I don't think that would be the cause of any performance because it's not like a huge map with a bunch of things that we're trying to render, right? I mean, I'm trying to think of what else, like maybe there's some kind of issue with my material. I really doubt that. I mean, it's just a standard old material. Maybe it's because it's all metallic or something. I don't really know. I mean, there's nothing weird in here. So I really doubt that it's any of this stuff. Yeah, I just don't know. It's really odd. We're gonna keep trying to do little performance fixes like this wherever we can, but yeah. I mean, maybe it just has to do with the shader I have on the tablet, because I have this another sub viewport here, right, to render in the screen here, so it's like a 2D image. So maybe that's the cause for some reason. That would be strange, though. I mean, it's not like... It's a really small viewport. So... I don't know why that would be a problem, honestly. There's no oversampling, really. See, I don't think it's that. I don't know. It's confusing. There's this one little Omni light here, but I don't even have shadows on it, so like it should have practically zero performance impact. I don't know. We'll just have to keep messing around and see if we can find the cause of that. It's so weird though too, because it's just random. Like sometimes it happens, and then other times it's totally fine. I totally love bugs like that, guys. But I'm gonna make a quick fix over here to the way that we do the velocity stuff. Instead of doing linear velocity, we're just gonna do position. So what I'm gonna check is if held item dot like disabled, whatever I have set on this. Okay, I have freeze mode on. Yeah. So we're gonna say if held item dot freeze, which means that it's not actively doing physics stuff. Then we're gonna go ahead and change how we kind of move it toward my hand and stuff. So now what we're gonna do is say position is equal to held item dot global position dot lerp hand position like that, 1 times delta or something. And I think that'll now fix that issue we were having with the console. So let's try it out. So hey Ryan, what's up? Welcome in. There we go. It's a little slow, also it goes into 0. We need to say... Yeah, we do have hand position. I don't know why it would be going, like, into the hand. Maybe that's just what we need that offset value for. Because I know inside of the item class, we have this position offset thing. Held item dot position offset. We'll try that, see if that fixes it. Up the speed on the lerping. Try that out. Okay. That's because we're doing it on a global position, so it doesn't work that way. So we're just gonna say hand position plus that. And then we're gonna say to global, all that stuff. Let's try that. Okay, so that's moving it down for some reason. I don't know. Don't know why it's doing that. A little strange. I thought I had some code in here for doing the, maybe I got rid of it. But it used to work out. Where is that handled? Because I know in here I have pickup. This is specifically for the tablet. Where I set the block, then I ease it back out. Interesting. So what is position offset going to be? Forward should just be... I guess it's because... Position of that, I think the y-axis is... It's a little funky. So am I going to have to, like, rotate this? I don't know. Or maybe it's just getting the wrong position. Because that just goes down there. Which is obviously wrong. I'm trying to figure out what we need to do here. I need to get this rotated toward the camera. What I've always done is just say held item global position is just global position of that. And then I can also do the same thing for rotation. That global rotation. That global rotation. Then that should just be normal. Maybe it's just because the rotation was off, but I don't know. Some macaroni for real. Welcome, man. How's it going? So it is going to the right angle and stuff. It's just way too close to my face. I don't know why it's doing that. So what we need to do, we have our hand position. Let's go look at exactly what the value is for that position and stuff. So we go over to player. Player scene, hand. So, okay, hand for some reason is no longer offset. I think that's our problem. Yeah, because it should be just that. Okay, I think I know what we need to do. Right here, we're just going to say hand position is equal to held item dot item offset. Oh, yeah, I did that down here. I just forgot to do it up here. I think that's the only issue. Let's go ahead and try that out now. There we go. So I do pick it up. The only thing, though, that we do need to fix is it's too far away. So I need to change the offset now again on... Let's go into our items table so I can define that. Because in here we should have position offset. By default will be vector 3 forward. Don't know why it's... Oh, yeah. I'm trying to decide if I play TOTK and finish 100% of that, or get started on... Oh, yeah. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played either of them. I've asked this specific question to my friends before and stuff, and it's basically just... It's always boiled down to they're both good games and just play both. But some people, I don't know, it's interesting. Some people like the first one way more. It's hard to say. I don't really know. Yeah, I would have to like actually play them, unfortunately, to give you a good answer. Okay, so position offset on this, we're going to do vector 3, 0, 0. Then let's go 0.5 to start. Minus 0.5. See if that works. I like Tears of the Kingdom more, but the experience of playing Breath of the Wild for the first time is unbeatable. Yeah. Okay, that didn't seem to actually do it. Oh, it's because I'm not doing that instead of item. Wait, I am though. Oh, I didn't give it the ID. Like a stupid idiot. Let's go back to the tablet scene. There we go. Still haven't bought the Breath of the Wild discs, so yeah. I never really buy discs anymore. Just don't have a need to. So why is this not changing the offset? It doesn't seem to actually be doing anything. I do call... that's why. I'm not even calling super unready. Let's fix that. Oh. DLC. Yeah. What kind of DLC do they have for those games? There we go. Now that's actually doing stuff. Let's try a 0.4. See how that looks. Motorcycle DLC? That sounds pretty epic. Okay, we're almost back to what it was doing before, how it was. Let's do 0.3. It's actually better now because it smoothly comes to our face instead of snapping like it did before, so... Yeah, that's better. Now we can control our rover, guys. You can see this big, evil, scary guy right here. We're just gonna walk past him. You can also just use WAS. You don't have to click on the buttons. I would like to maybe make this button like a toggle so that you don't have to keep constantly pressing it over and over to navigate around here. But yeah. It feels pretty good to move this around. Maybe I'll just have a check where if you're holding down W or holding down the button, then it just keeps continually moving your rover. That would probably be a better option. So. Yeah, I think we'll probably do that. Like $40 for both, so I just haven't bought them. Yeah, that's the one thing that kind of stops me from being big on Nintendo stuff, is just the price. It's so obscenely expensive. And the fact that like all of their games are still really expensive years after they've released and stuff is kind of insane to me. You know? It's not just like not dropping from 30 bucks, it's like everything is $60. It's crazy. I don't know. Or even more now with their new games, it's like 80 bucks. It's ridiculous. I don't know. It's just too much money. I mean, it's not that they're bad games. Like, there definitely are good, fun games, but it's pretty steep. 120 CAD, yeah, that's insane. Look at this evil guy that we spotted on the cameras. Alright. Yeah, that all seems to be working now. So yeah, I just want to get this trading window set up. Just plop an item on here, and then it'll suck up the item, and then trade the new thing. I do want to have, like, storage here, though. We have to think about how this is going to work. Yeah, I think that's the tricky thing, is just trying to squeeze all the stuff into this elevator. Because we're going to have, like, a shelf over here that has, like, upgrades that you can put on, elevator upgrades. So we could put storage under here, and then just have this back wall open. So that would be an option. We could probably shrink down this generator, honestly. Because I don't think it has to be that big. So let's actually go into there and see what we can do. Yeah, so let's just shrink it a little bit. Because why not? Now we have a little more space for the table, and then I would like to put the storage right here, I think. And then leave this back wall open so that we can have more space and stuff. That would be nice. Much rather buy PC than... Yeah, I know. That's the thing. It's so expensive. You might as well just, like... I don't know. Yeah, this is a little ridiculous. I don't think you'll ever actually be able to see this face in game, so probably don't have to care about that. Still trying to think exactly how I want to have this. Godot isn't very resource intensive. No, it's not. It's definitely pretty light. I mean, compared to other engines, it's quite the difference. Like, Unity and stuff like that really took forever to load for me, and even once it did, it didn't really run that well. But Godot is super good for that. It's a very lightweight engine. I never really have any major performance issues in-game. That one performance issue is kind of an oddity. I don't really still know what caused it. It's not happening. It hasn't happened since I made that change to the viewport, so maybe that was all it was. But yeah, whenever there is any kind of performance thing, it's always like a very, you know, obvious cause. It's just something stupid that you're doing and not necessarily the engine's fault. I used to want to get into Unity, but the controversies turned me off from it. Yeah. That's the reason because I was actually using Unity in the past, but I guess that whole event just kind of made me remember that, like, yeah, Unity is a private company with a proprietary engine, and they can just decide to do stuff like that whenever they feel like it. So to me, I was just like, you know what? I'm out. I don't really want to wake up one day and find out that my livelihood is gone. So also, Nick Jack, welcome in. This is Maze Game, working title, not the final title. But yeah, this is a survival horror game. Essentially, you have these rovers that you can control and drive around on this tablet here. So I can send these guys out and they drive. I don't know why he didn't get realigned. That's kind of a problem. Maybe I accidentally just threw him perfectly correct. Yeah, I guess that's what happened. Yeah, you drive these rovers around. You find items and collect things out in the wild. I don't know why I can't rotate them now. There's still some bugs I gotta work out. With the snapping or the alignment of the rovers to the hallways, but you know, we literally added this in like a few days ago, so it's fine. Yeah, it's going good. Add radiation as an enemy? That would be kind of neat to do radiation. Let's see, you just get WebGL errors? That's interesting. With Godot? I'm out 1.2 seconds. Even Bracky's the Unity goat switch to Godot. That is true, yeah. I'm kind of glad that he's doing Godot stuff now. It's pretty cool. I don't really need the tutorials, honestly, but I think it's really good for people wanting to get into Godot. It's just great for accessibility. I do wish when I first started out kind of learning Godot, I had tutorials like that, so. Does Unreal have 2D? I think it does, but it's quite, Unreal's definitely not like a 2D engine, at least from what I've seen and what I know. Like, you probably could do 2D in Unity, or in Unreal, I mean, but I don't think it's really designed for 2D. I don't think they have any, like, dedicated 2D stuff specifically, so you might have to technically make the 2D game 3D, you know, with, like flat faces and textures and stuff to do art. But I don't know, yeah, it sounds like it might be a little bit of a headache. Tutorials are outdated now. Oh yeah, the tile maps being depreciated. It's really easy though to convert the tile maps, honestly. I don't think it really is a major issue. So Bobby, what's the point of this game? It is a survival horror game. So you want to collect food and resources and see how long you can survive. We're going to be adding in hopefully some like actual gameplay stuff today. To get down to the next level of the facility, there's going to be breakers that spawn in the maze. So really your like long-term objective, well, of course, is gathering food and stuff, but like your short per level objective is finding all the breakers and turning them back on so that the elevator can move down and head to the next place. But yeah. Gives me liminal space vibes. Yeah, no, definitely. I think liminal, it's not specifically like a backrooms game or anything, but I do think there's, of course, a heavy inspiration, because I think liminal spaces are pretty cool. Hatch is open? Yeah. Yeah, the hatch will open up. Right now, it goes really fast, like every couple like seconds it opens another tier, but this is going to be slowed way down. There's going to be another entity in here at some point. The hatch man, or the door man. But yeah. Okay, so that's all working. Whoa. I like that you can kind of like hide in this corner over here and then use your tablet. The interaction range might be a little far. It is quite a long distance to interact with things, but we'll see. Because I can basically hit anything from any direction in here, so yeah. There's a fish in the hall? What do you mean a fish? This guy? He's not quite a fish. He's more of a face. Zach drew these. They said that they drew this by just outlining their face, the reflection in their monitor, which is kind of epic. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I guess he kind of looks like a fish in a way. I could see it. Yeah. All right. Tablet. I think some of these buttons maybe stick out a little bit too much, so I think it mostly has to do with the FOV. Sort of. Maybe what we want to do is make it so the tablet doesn't get as close to you as it does right now, but just your FOV zooms in. So you get kind of a flatter look at the tablet. It might just look a little bit better. So let's reset this back to being no custom position offset. And then whenever we pick up the tablet, we can just say increase our FOV. That might be a better option. And I think this, let's give this a class name. This is the only item that's really going to happen with, so let's just go ahead and do that. Should add a box of macaroni. We are going to be adding in food items soon. Maybe today, we'll see. So yeah, maybe macaroni. Let's go up to our FOV stuff. This is where we have that one little FOV offset thing here. Right here, we're pressing in zoom. But I don't want to modify that. So we won't be sprinting in this state. Say target FOV is 90. If held item is tablet. Then we're going to set the target FOV to like much higher or much lower. I mean, like 30 or something. I don't know exactly what it should be yet, but let's just start experimenting with different FOVs. Should be a good item, plus 10 hunger, 15 speed. Yeah, we do want to do like different status effects with each item. Yeah, I feel like that gives a much better view of this tablet. Because the thing before with the, like, it was so close to our face, the perspective would make the buttons look super massive when they're just like flatter. But now this looks a little more like accurate. And we could do like a... I mean, I feel like this probably works. We could do a little less, like we could do sort of a compromise here. Thank you for all the speeds. Instead of saying -1, we could go 0.75. And then... Or even just 0.5, we'll see, and then decrease the FOV a little bit. Or increase it, I don't know, whatever you call it. And we'll have to restart the game. Spin. Yes. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Yeah, this game is also sort of inspired by like point-and-click maze games. Usually those games are more of like a puzzle adventure, but this is a horror game. I'm addicted to fruit-flavored icebreaker mints. Is that what you mean I didn't notice? They're pretty good. I do like those. And the icebreakers are pretty good. Simple man, I see chair spin and I am happy, and no see chair spin, I'm sad. I feel it. Yeah. It's crazy just throwing it in the hallway and it's just dark. Can't see it anymore. Get away, stupid guy. Get away from me. I do want to make it so when I'm picking up this item, the rotation does kind of snap to my camera. I think that's just going to feel a little more natural. Sort of what I'm doing over here with this rotation stuff. So we're just going to lerp the rotation regardless of whether it's frozen or not. Let's do that. There we go. So now you can see how that kind of looks. It just holds it according to the rotation of your hand. I think it's just more natural. There's some weird stuff that happens. You can see like it does a crazy flip around sometimes. Yeah, that. So I may have to fix that. I think that has to do with it lerping toward an angle. We had the same issue with the rover camera rotation in here. So I'm probably gonna have to change how that works. I think what I can do instead of just lerping to that, we do like, there's a lerp function method probably. And then I can do like lerp to angle. Or maybe we can just do lerp to angle. Let's see. Inside of the player. I should add a lighter that lets you cook food. And we do have some ideas for like, there's gonna be upgrades that you can put into the elevator. We're gonna model just a little like shelf kind of drop down table, so that you can put down different things on there. I don't know if we'll do a lighter, but yeah, we might just do a little tiny like tabletop stove kind of thing for that. We'll have to see. So can I say just lerp rotation or something? Lerp angle, that's what we want. But the only issue is that doesn't lerp all of the angles, which is kind of annoying. So we're gonna have to do two separate things. I mean, it's fine. It's just stupid, but whatever. I mean, unless this vector 3 does have a lerp for angles specifically. There's slurp. Oh. Can I do quaternion.lerp? This might be good. Okay, so instead of saying global rotation, we're gonna say quaternion. We have to say get quaternion. Let's try this out. I don't know if this is gonna work. Then we can say equals held item dot get quaternion dot slurp, and we're gonna do this one's quaternion. I don't know why it's not. Okay, it'll probably be fine. Will that work? Okay, it's not happy. Oh, I have to say like set quaternion or something. Like that. Let's try that. Anyways, so let me see in here. Is that guy supposed to be that small? The main character? Is he small? I mean, he seems normal sized. I don't know. So I don't think this quaternion stuff seems to be quite working. I think it's because the quaternion is not like a global quaternion, so it doesn't really work in this case because we have to say like get global quaternion. Nah, I can only get global rotation. Well, whatever. Let's just do what I was gonna do. We can just do this on each of the things individually. So I can say hello item rotation Y is that. And say specifically, oops, lerp angle. Now we can just do that. Rotation Y. Now that should be lerping the Y-axis angle. Yeah, you can see that works. I want that to be lerping pretty quick, though. The angle should be near instant, so we're gonna go like 100 times. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, Abra, welcome in. How's it going? Yeah, Maze game development's going good. I'm just fixing a couple little minor things I wanted to get done, so right now. And then we're gonna focus on getting more gameplay stuff implemented. And there we go. Now it's lerping the angle properly. It doesn't lerp the other angle, which maybe I don't need to lerp that angle, honestly. Also, I don't like the how the player's holding this rover, because you can see the vertical offset is whack. So I'm gonna go ahead and do back inside of our items table. I'm actually gonna give rovers a different position offset, so we don't hold them so weird. And I'll give this like just a minus 0.5 vertical offset, like that. We'll try that out. And this will be a much smaller game than Starground. No, it's not going to take 4 years. Right now, the plan is to get this game ready for... this is not a complete confirmation, but hopefully get it ready for Steam Next Fest in February next year. So, we'll see if that, works out. But that would be the goal. So it didn't seem like that really did anything here. So camera hand position, held item position offset. Is it because the rovers doesn't have like a ID attached or something? They do, item rover. Oh, I set it to minus vertical, so that would just make the problem worse. Yeah. Wait, no, that's not how it works in 3D. I don't think. Yeah, no, it's just not working. It's so weird. In 3D, minus Y is actually down, but then in 2D, it's up. Starground sort of makes me feel home in the same way Minecraft does. I get that, yeah. It's designed to be kind of cozy. That's why, like, purposely I've never really wanted any active threats on the automation places. Like, any threats in Starground, it's always been like, I want it to be an optional thing that you can deal with, but you aren't forced to, right? Like a demo for Steam Next Fest? Yeah, that's the goal right now. We're just going to be focusing on building up a vertical column of this game. Just focusing on a couple levels and entities and stuff like that. Make everything feel really good. And then, that's when we'll, yeah, get the demo all ready to go. Hopefully. Yeah, vertical slice. That's what I meant, not column. Best testing method, set the values to 3 million to make sure it does anything. I don't think... I know that it's like, I just need to figure out why it's not applying the offset, because it says right here, item position offset should be set. Must be something that I'm like doing wrong in here. I mean, I'm just pushing it toward the global position of this, so I don't know why it would be wrong. Why I wouldn't be doing anything. I'll go ahead and just print out what this position offset is, just to make sure. But like, it should be applying. Oh, what it probably is inside of the rover and ready. I'm not calling super. Gotta love it. Now it's probably gonna work. I don't even need to print it out anymore. Fish is small. Yeah, he's just a little face. He's not not meant to be like a huge guy. Okay, so that just seemed to... Oh, it's because I accidentally, in doing that, got rid of the Z offset. Let's make sure that's fixed. Try that again. Snooze that ad. Switch's internet isn't working? Yeah. I don't know. There we go. That just feels way better to hold now. Like, it doesn't block your view entirely now. So... yeah, that's much better, I think. It is crazy how the rotation... you can see what it does there. Like, it goes crazy. If it's rotated off, it goes... I do need to fix this thing. One thing that is a little problematic here is since the origin of this rover is at the bottom, right? Which makes sense for that, but I need to like figure out how I can offset its rotation pivot. I don't know if that's a thing. Like where could I actually do that? I'm not sure. because I'm grabbing it from this point, so I don't think there is a like rotation pivot that I can do. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably just have it also kind of lerp in the other directions as well for rotation. So let's do that. So X, let's just do this in order. X, Y, Z. X, Y, Z. Z. X. This is better that way, I think. All right. And we get that lag issue again. I don't know what's causing that. I'm not seeing any weird things in the output or anything, so it's a little frustrating. Yeah, this feels good now. Because then wherever I throw it, that's kind of the angle it gets thrown at and stuff. With items, it doesn't actually matter, but it'll make it easier to drop it. Yeah, I don't know why it does this. Why it just starts getting really laggy. Like, I can run the visual profiler, and you can see there's definitely a massive load on the GPU right now, but like, I don't know why. Is this render 3D scene? But why is render 3D scene just randomly super slow? I don't know if it's like actually because of that, or it's just like that's a byproduct. This is something that's always a little bit like tricky to figure out. But I don't think it's a byproduct because the CPU is not also ramped up, so I'm not sure why it's so slow. It's like it's using my wrong GPU or something. Maybe it's just because I'm streaming and have OBS set to like a really high priority. Because I do have like an advanced or something above normal. You can just set it to normal. I don't think that'll do anything. But I don't know. I don't think it's anything in the remote scene as far as I've been able to tell. Like, everything is pretty normal in here. There's the notes here. I don't know where that note is from. I have to figure that out. But, I mean, everything in here is pretty normal, so it's a little frustrating. I don't know. I don't even have that other light active. I don't think it's... That does cause a bit of lag, having that light on. Is it just that that light being on is casting shadows? Like, let's take a look at that. Maybe that's the problem. I mean, it does cast shadows because it's supposed to, but maybe I just turn that one off, because this light is basically supposed to be like the base level of brightness. I don't want it to be completely pitch black when there's no lights active. We can see that still doesn't really fix the problem, so... Yeah, man, I really don't know. It's quite odd. Don't know. So why is this cylinder here? Let's get rid of that. And we did have two notes here. This other note that doesn't exist anymore. Let's delete that. But I really doubt those things would cause any kind of performance issues. I mean, it's running fine now, but then randomly later it decides sometimes when I launch the project to not run well. It's so, like, just random. I don't know. I don't get it. This brightness is a light and cast shadows. I don't. Yeah, I didn't mean to have it cast shadows, but that's off now, so it shouldn't be any issue. I mean, I guess I could just set. There is like the background light. I don't know why I had this as a directional light before. I mean, I guess it doesn't really make sense if you think about it. So I could probably delete that light. That one also doesn't need cast shadows. I can set the energy on this one pretty low. This is just so I can kind of see the environment better. for testing mainly. Set energy on that to 0.5. And let's then go ahead and set this like ambient light. I don't know if this is actually going to change the ambient light is the issue. It's not doing anything. It might just be because of my lighting settings up here. No, it says the preview is disabled. Oh, it's because the energy multiplier, huh? But that doesn't look right. That doesn't make any sense. I just want a little bit of, let's just do color. Why is it like not applying to the elevator? It's a little odd. Maybe it's just because that's not a part of this scene or something. But it is, there's, I don't know what's happening. It's so odd. I'm just gonna set this to this. Let's just try setting this to 0.5 and then load the game up and see what it looks like. Because I don't know what else to do with this. Yeah, no, it does just actually look like that. So why does it do that? It just doesn't make any sense. So I don't think that really does what I want. Reflected light. This background. We can actually just disable reflected light, I think. It just makes like the objects bright. Like, instead of doing... It's so weird. Why would it do that? It's not making the elevator itself bright. Must have some kind of weird lighting setting set. I don't think I do. It's so odd. I have all these settings pretty minimal. I do have this one on. I don't know if we really need that on or not. That's glow. I want glow on, obviously. There's all these other cool graphical settings you can enable, but it tends to like make the project really slow, so I do have them all disabled. Like all these things, SSAO. SSR. Doesn't seem like I'm actually previewing the changes I'm making here for some reason. So I wonder what it looks like with all these on. Oh god. My whole computer is like 2 FPS. This is why I don't have these effects on. Oh my god, that runs so bad. Okay. Let's turn those off. I mean, I wouldn't mind some SSAO. But it doesn't seem to be doing really a whole lot. Like, I don't really see any difference. I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong. That's odd. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like I just need to, like, cut it. Redo the environment node. I'm not sure what's going on, yeah. I mean, I can just reset all this stuff to the defaults. It's not my color space there. It's so weird. It's like, it just doesn't do anything. And it only does that to objects. Why not the elevator mesh? I don't know. I don't get it. It's so odd. Maybe this is why I did have that directional light like that. Yeah, I really don't know what's going on with all this. It's pretty strange. I might literally just have to get rid of this for a minute, see if I can figure this out. Because here it's normal. There is like a default environment that it creates, I think. You can see how bad it looks. Also, when I look up, for some reason I get massive lag spikes. I don't really know what's going on. Let's just, I mean, what would be causing that? Do I have any kind of weird lights in here? Not really. That's just a regular old light. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. So thank you for the spin. I appreciate it. Yeah, the SSAO seems to do practically nothing. I don't know why. I mean, does that have to do with like my screen space shader? I really don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I just have bad stream settings and it makes my game run bad. I don't know. Because I never have issues like this when I'm not streaming. Maybe that is the cause. Who knows? Because the problem is with this, like, I can't see anything without a light, which is not good gameplay. So I don't want it to be completely just pitch black. Maybe we could do like 0.1 on this so that we can just see objects in the darkness, but that still kind of has the same issue. I guess that's what we have this other light for. I shouldn't have gotten rid of it. I'm gonna paste it and then re-add it. Just call it ambient. Right, we're just gonna make this like super low power, practically black. I don't know why it's still so powerful. Oh, it's the other one is on. I was like, what? Okay. Now I can set this as the ambient color. So let's do 0.1 maybe. Maybe even lower than that, probably. And I can see that just gives us a little bit of ambient light in here. We're not going to make it blue like that, though, I think. I think we will just keep it desaturated, because this is a interior place. Let's set it to a bit lower. I want things to be just barely visible. Like, that's too bright. Maybe 0.02. Still too dark. I guess this is as low as it goes. So yeah, this should work probably. When you like turn your lights off in here and stuff. Of course this is shining in, but it's pretty dark in here. Yeah, I guess that'll work. I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know why the lighting is behaving this way. Where I just can't set background, or like the background color just doesn't affect my meshes. I don't know why. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that I have like a weird setting on this material here in terms of shading. But I'm not seeing that in here. There's no transparency stuff. There's nothing weird in there. The grow. What does grow do? Yeah, I don't really know. Everything seems fine. Yeah, it's so weird. I just don't know why it's just the elevator mesh and everything else kind of brightens up like normal. Because like you can see, if I increase the default background color, everything else gets bright except for the elevator mesh, and I don't know why. Like, do I just need to apply a different material? Like, what if I make it... let's go into the elevator. Put some rubber down. Does that work? Then hide the main light. See, for some reason, it's just like, it seems like it's just that material is causing issues. It's fine with the rubber like this, so I don't know why it's doing that. Is it just because this material is metallic, so it causes like weird issues? I think that's what it is. Yeah. I don't think I really need to make this material metallic then, because it doesn't really even do what I want. So yeah. I don't like the default brightness in horror games or in any game. I don't know. I mean, I think it is important for this game specifically to... I want things to be pretty dark. It's not going to be like this dark for every single level. We're going to do a top level that's much brighter. Just as a default overall brightness level and stuff. We'll have to see. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I don't have any roughness maps set up. I mean, I can lower the roughness just to give it a little bit of shine. I suppose that could work. Now I don't need the ambient light anymore. Because now I can just control it on the environment node. So this is at like 0. We can just up it a tiny little bit to 0.05. Now let's see if that looks normal. Yeah, there is kind of some issues with the metallic stuff with Godot right now. I know that they are working on that. There's a change coming for 4.6, I believe, that should completely kind of change how metallic materials are handled. So I think that's probably going to fix my issues. But this seems to be much better now. I do have to change the vibe of this material, though, I think. Still seems a little weird. I can change, like, the specular. I don't know if this really needs specular. The roughness. That makes it, like, full gloss. But there's no specular, so it doesn't even matter. Let's see if I up the specular, then it's very glossy. Looks wet. Does Starground have an ending? Not yet. I do have some ideas for sort of a final ending boss fight thing, so we'll probably be working on that as we get closer to 1.0. So yeah, metallic just totally changes the vibe here. I mean, I guess it's fine, like you can see it. Oh, but it doesn't take in any environmental light at all. So yeah, we can't really do a full metallic. I mean, I could set the metallic low to like 0.1 or something. Then it still does pick up some environmental light. I mean, the player is always going to have their flashlights, so I don't think it'll really matter. But yeah. I do want to redo this texture in here anyways, so I think we'll probably stick with where it's at now. It is brighter in here when it's not fully metallic, but that's just because it's actually taking on light now. I mean, I do like how it looks when it's full metallic, but it just breaks the lighting, so I don't know. I mean, I could just set the environmental light to be a little higher then, I guess. Just up it a notch. Still pretty impossible to see. I mean, at 0.7, you can see. So I might just stick with that for now. We'll see. We're always going to have flashlights, so... Could you make lighting pixelated to fit the materials? I don't know exactly how I would, like, do that. To make lighting pixelated. I'm not sure. I don't think that's a super easy thing to do. I mean, I could do like a projector, I guess, and that would, pretty sure that applies like a... You can see what this looks like, right? It gives it like a texture to the lighting. So I suppose you could do something like that. Lower the like resolution of it. And then, we would have to set the, I don't know. I don't think we can do nearest on this texture. Like nearest filtering. See, I don't think you can really do it very easily. Unless that's some kind of setting you can do somewhere. But I don't know. I guess it'd be a shader. I don't know how I would, like, be complicated. That would be kind of a tricky shader to write, I would think. Because you'd have to do a light shader. I've never done one of those. I've only really ever messed with vertex and fragment shaders, so I'm not sure. But maybe someday we can try that out. Okay, so I want to make a little shelf here. Might as well just keep moving on. Still don't know what caused that weird bug, but we're just going to ignore it for now and hope it goes away. I think it might just be because I'm streaming. I have noticed that kind of with other projects in the past. Like with Coal Keeper, that was actually an issue where if you were streaming, the game would run really bad. And it wasn't just me that was experiencing that, it was Adagon kept running into that issue. To be fair, I did have a bunch of visual effects on, so that definitely didn't help. But I turned those off for the update, and it seemed to mostly fix it, but it still wasn't running super great. So I'm not sure. I'll have to... I do need to do some research on occlusion culling. I think that's probably going to solve most of the issues. It's just getting that set up, so... Yeah, this is what I'm thinking for this little table. It's not anything super complicated, just a little shelf kind of vibe. And it would just sit right there. We need to raise it up more, though. Just a little bit. I don't want to raise it too much. Let's look at that. I think that's probably pretty good there. And then I want to have all the storage down here, ideally. Let's see what this feels like in-game from the perspective of the player. Yeah, I mean, this looks pretty good, I would think. Then we're going to have some little, like, wires that kind of connect to the wall, so it looks like it has, like, a hinge in the back. And then down here, we're probably just going to have a rack with some slots for items on it. Could have that rack at a little bit of an angle. We'll have to see what feels right. Because I don't want to block this back wall off too much, since that is going to be the trading window. We could always expand this elevator, like, to make it longer. It would be fine. But I don't know. Because we're really going for more of a gameplay focus rather than a, you know, realism lore focus. So I don't really care if the elevator is very large for some reason. As long as it feels good to play. Hey, thank you, Bobby, for the celebration. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna raise it up just a little bit more. Mayo cheese time, yeah. Let's go.
Cheese time, activate.
I'm gonna give this a loop cut in the center. Actually, no, let's not do that. I just want to cut this thing in half. I guess I can just modify this scale to 0.5. Apply the transforms. I'm gonna actually make this, like 2 tables maybe, I'm thinking. Just to have like a segment in the center. Unless we just want to do 3, I'm not sure. Nah, let's just do 1. I think it's gonna make more sense. Clear cheese reward is a terrible invention. Well, I'm not going to be redeeming it, so it's only terrible if you guys choose to use it, you know? It's the same thing with, like, nuclear bombs and stuff. Okay, let's do some hinges in the back. This is going to be a cylinder. Let's do 5. Because I feel like it. All the rotations are terrible. Do that. Alright. Oops. Oh, wrong. Oh, wrong. There we go. Let's apply those transforms. Hate where the origin is right now. Okay. Can't see where the... I think it needs to be a little bit larger. There we go, that's a good size. So we're just gonna have 2 of these hinges on either side. And like 1 right there. And we need to do a little cutout for the pipe right here, so... Unless I want to change how the pipe is, but nah, I'd like it being kind of in the center here. Just donated -1 bits. No. Let's do a cylinder, and this is going to be a Boolean. So we need to do more vertices, like 16. Give this a Boolean. Put it onto that guy. Alright, let's get this all aligned properly. So this needs to be moved over there. Somewhere right about there. So now if we hide this, check it. I'll make it a little smaller. But I think something like that. Ooh. And actually, I'm going to do this. Because I think this makes more sense in the context of, like... I imagine this is like some guy was in here and was like, oh shoot, the pipe doesn't fit. So now they just had to figure out how to make it work. They would have just done this. The shape. Then we're going to do a... Where is it? Face? Mesh fill. Grid fill. Select 2 edge loops. Maybe not grid fill. Or I think it's just fill. Yeah, there we go. And then same down here. Face. Fill. Alright. There we go. Yeah, this is Blender. I am using Blender. Okay, now we're just going to make these little tiny struts. So to do that, it's pretty easy. I'm actually just going to do this via single vert. Edit mode. And then I'm going to say object, convert into a curve. And now we can give this geometry right here. Well, it's very nice being able to just directly import blend files into Godot. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty awesome. Because it means that I can like have all these modifiers and stuff, just I don't have to apply them. You know, it's great. That's one of the like best things about Godot, honestly. Specifically with 3D modeling, at least. Alright, so we got that. We're going to just duplicate it. I make life hard. It's hard to say if that's going to hit the pipe. I think we're just okay. Alright, let's go see what this looks like now. Oh, I have the... Hold on. Yikes. That cylinder needs to turn off. Render view. Ooh. I'll manually hide it then. Fine. Alright, let's load into the game. See what it looks like. Yo, thank you for the 2 bits, Bobby. I appreciate it. There we go. Feels pretty good. Doesn't have to make a whole lot of sense. I know it would hit that pipe and stuff, but it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. I'll probably work on like cleaning up these models and stuff more later on, but right now I just need this surface to exist so that I can start working on the upgrade system. That's my main goal right now. So let's go ahead and go back into the blend scene. Elevator. And I want to automatically generate a mesh for this plane. Sometimes I do wonder if all these collision shapes in here are the reason for the lag, but I don't know if, you know, these actually contribute very much, to be completely honest. Let's go name it so I can actually tell what I'm looking at. Upgrade table. Oops. Okay. Give me 57,000 big boy bucks. Why do you need so many big boy bucks? Where's upgrade table? There it is. So now we can just say physics on. Physics, it's static. Shape type. And we could just say box on this one. But sometimes I have issues with the box one where it just like doesn't generate a good collision shape. But in this case, it seems to work okay. Nope. See, this is what it does. It just does a big fat box. It doesn't actually, like, do it right. And I'm not sure why. Whatever. I always just do automatic, and that always works well, so whatever. Now you can see it's got a nice little collision shape here. Alright, so that should collide now with things. Let's check it out. Boom. Boom. Yeah, we're good there. I wonder if, like, the... I don't think the performance has anything to do with entities nearby. Because there's only one guy in the maze right now, so that would be wild if that was the cause. Okay, these look good. I think we're going to have the rovers stored under here. You really got to think compact when it comes to an elevator. And then we're going to have a storage rack right here for our items. So let's go model that super quick. Boom. Get your cube on there. Let's do, nah, let's not copy that. Meow. I wonder if I should just do these as flat planes. I might actually do that. And then just have some more verts. Oops. Where's my vert? There it is. No, that's the wrong vert. Where'd my other vert go? I don't know where it went. Whatever, let's add another single vert. Go into edit mode. Can't seem to modify this vert. Oh. I can't extrude the vert. What? What is going on? Let me modify my vert. It just doesn't work. Okay, we're gonna delete vert 2 then. I don't know, maybe that is just the object origin, not the vert. That's the only downside to verts, is hard to tell where they are. But whatever. I'm just gonna do this one instead. Just copy this one because it's already set up how I want. Let's do local points and set these to 0. One of the floors is gonna be Starground. The objective is to defeat Dreadcap. Probably not. We may have Starground references in the game, but I don't think we're gonna have a Starground level. We'll see though. Okay, let's just do... This needs to be way thicker. Maybe too thick. 005. Imagine this is like one of those storage shelves. You know, one of these guys. Doesn't have to be very fancy right now. Let's fill caps. Here, let's set the origin point right here. Oh, is there like another point in here? Oh no, that's just okay. Now we're fine. Cursor to selected. Set origin to 3D cursor. Now we can set my vertical height to 0. All right, continue on this. Let's move both of these in so we can start figuring out the size. Okay. Move this up. Maybe like that. We'll see how thick this needs to be. Nope. And nope. And I'm not going to worry about this colliding with the pipe back here because nobody's going to notice. That'd be fine. And this needs to go over to the side, like right there. I don't know where the generator is, but we'll figure that out. I noticed. No. It'll be okay. I guess I don't want this to be super thick, because you're only really going to be seeing one item, like, on the shelf, so we're probably just going to go like that. I don't want to go too crazy with it. Yeah, let's just do 0.5. So that this rack is that tall. I don't know how deep down this is. Let's... Global. Grab this vert. Okay. What am I doing? What is going on? Oh, it's probably because it has a weird origin point. Okay. Let's do one like right there. And then another one right there. Duplicate this. Move it over. And we're good to go. It'll probably merge all this into one object. Actually, I don't know if it lets me. I don't think I can because it's technically... These are curves and those two curves can be merged. Let's go see what this looks like. I wish the Better Than Venture server was up. Oh yeah, that one. That was the Big Boy Games official server one, right? Yeah. Better Than Adventure. Did we have one that was also Better Than Adventure? I guess we did at one point. I can't remember. But yeah. I probably still have it somewhere. I'm pretty sure I gave everybody the world file after we were done. So it should be there somewhere. Maybe in the Minecraft chats. I'll have to go look. There we go. Boom. Item storage. I don't want this to be confused with storage or the floor, so let's go ahead and actually just shift these down so it's a little less confusing. Right? So that goes like right next to the floor practically, and then this one we do... Oops. Select by linked. And raise it up a little bit right there. That'll probably make more sense. Yeah, so now it's just like, okay, obviously I can put them on here or on there. There's no confusion about which one is real. Also, I might do a little bit of a... Here. We can set the, not that one. Where is it? It's on texture space. There's like extrude. We could make these like flatter if we wanted, but no. Twist method. I thought there was some stuff I could do in here to change like these curve points, but I guess it's because it's not a Bezier curve, it's just a regular curve, so I don't think I can actually do that. Unless there is some kind of option to convert into a Bezier, but I don't think there is. Yeah, that'll be fine. Duck pyramid, that's crazy. Alright, well I feel like this looks mostly good. Let's go into the game and make sure. So this is probably space for like, I imagine 8 items. Which probably feels about right. I imagine like 8 or 10 slots would be how many items you can carry at once. I don't want it to be too many. Technically you can walk on here, but that's obviously going to change. Where's the world? I can go look inside that chat. I mean, if it's anywhere, it's probably in there. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go find it. I know that I've downloaded it at one point. It would probably be in here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I actually sent the saves in there. Unless I sent them in like Minecraft General or something. I'm not sure, but I know I would have downloaded them before wiping them or anything. I don't know what server hoster I would have used for that. I know I have like the emails for the payments I had to make and stuff. No, not just the C, the actual file, the world. I'm not seeing it in here, but... Yeah, it must be... I think it was Apex Hosting is what I used. Let me go see if it's just still sitting on there, because I haven't, Actually, it might have, like, died. I think if I don't pay for the server for long enough, they're like, we're gonna delete your server. Yeah, there's no servers anymore, so it's gone. I might have downloaded it at one point, but I'll look for that after stream and let you know if I can find that file. It's probably just hidden in my downloads somewhere, if I do have it, so. Alrighty, let's see here. So yeah, let's maybe get it so we can actually start putting items on the shelf now. We can probably just have snap points. So like when we hover over it, it has a little thing that highlights, and then we can click E on it, and then it snaps the item to that spot. I think this size would probably be about right. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we can expand this shelf if we need more spots or whatever, but I think it'll be fine. This is where the upgrade slots will go, so there's probably gonna be like 3, I imagine. Yeah, upgrades in a way will kind of be a way to sort of expand your inventory, because there's going to be different upgrades that allow you to, put items in for later. In a way, they basically act as a slot, so. Okay, let's set up the points now. I think what we'll do, it should be really easy. We're just going to have some nodes that are like a standard interactable thing. And I think it's interactable. Interactable's a different thing. That's a static. Yeah. So I'm just going to create a node 3D. So no way you can fit more. Well, we could just expand this a little wider. Like I could probably remodel the generator a little bit if we wanted to make that smaller, since it doesn't actually really do anything per se. You know, it's more just a decoration, so it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to take up so much space. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in here. I'm gonna give this its own scene, so we're gonna save this. Item slot, reset the position. Give this a collision shape. This will just be a box. That will be 0.5 meters. That's pretty much it for that, honestly. It will have its own script. So we're going to say function interact. This is what happens when you interact. We can say var current item. So if we interact, or let's have another one also, function can interact. I don't know if these have really anything that happens here. Interactable should not be doing that. So what extends from here? Let's see, view owners or whatever. Yeah, I don't know why all those are doing the hatch. We have to fix that. Probably. Okay, so can interact is going to be if global dot player dot held item return true. And then interact here, we're going to say current item is equal to global dot player dot held item. And then we're going to say global dot player dot held item dot drop. So let's try that out. And then we're just going to say on interact, current item dot global position is equal to global position. Current item dot freeze is true. So this should just let us put an item on there. We still need to set up code for taking it back off. Let's see if it works. I saw a big... Oh yeah, there's a big guy right there. Okay, I didn't actually put the slots down, so let's go do that. May have forgotten to do that. Oh, I do have one item slot here, though. I don't know why it didn't give me a prompt. Oh, I probably have it set to the wrong collision shape. Boom, boom, boom. Let's try that. An upgrade that expands elevator size by 3%. I don't think that would be super helpful. But maybe. Because now it shows that I can interact. Boom, I press it. Nothing seemed to happen. I think it's because I technically instantly picked up the item again. I think that's the problem. Where I have to say, like, I have to disable that item from being interactable. So I'm going to have another thing in here. That's like var can interact or can grab. It's true by default. But then we're going to have another function here. Function can pick up, or we don't really need that. We can just check if can grab. So let's go back into the player scene. On here, we're going to check if it's an item, a not held item, and results.canGrab. So now on our item slot, we can say current item.canGrab is false. Let's try that. So make it so the player can move the shelf. I don't know what that would really do, honestly. I think I'd rather just have this stuff be, like, set in a specific area. But yeah. Okay, so I can't grab that item anymore. But it doesn't seem to really be dropping my items. I don't know why. Is it because I'm not setting... I think that's the issue. Is I'm saying on here in my item slot, held item.drop, but that's not what I want to do. We need a new function called function drop item. Now I can do that. Save that, and then say boom, player.drop item. Let's try that again. Am I supposed to break out of the map? You're not supposed to. That's the whole secret. Let's try this. Boom. We put the item on the shelf, and now it sits there and chills. Epic. All right. So let's set up some code so we can take the item back off now. So here we're gonna say if current item, elif player has an item, so if we have an item, we're gonna check if the player does not have an item. Then we can say global.player. And we don't actually have like a function to pick up an item. So let's go do that. Because down here we have some checks. Let's see, in the player scene. I'm also crazy, Dave. Yeah. I love Crazy Dave. So up here, this is where we are checking if we can pick up an item. We just say if we interact, held item is result, held item pick up, 0 power 0. So we're just gonna say here, pick up item result. And now we can run this pick up item function from anywhere. Okay. Pretty easy. So back in our item slot, now we can just say global.player. Don't pick up item. Current item. There we go. So that should let us pick up the item again. And then we're gonna have to set some things in here. We have to say current item dot freeze is back to false. Current item dot can grab is back to true. We'll actually do that stuff after we pick it up, I guess. Or no, because pickup does some... Does pickup do anything? Not really. Let's do that. We can grab again. let's we set freeze back to false. Can grab is true. And then lastly, we say current item is equal to null. Oh, that's only if we can. Whoops. Hold on. This is what we actually do when we interact. Okay. So if we have an item, then the player does all that stuff. Boom. All right, let's try this out. So boom, we grab it, put it in the shelf. Then we can come along and hover over it and then go, boom, pick up the item again. I don't know why there's a little bit of weirdness. Like I can interact there. But there's like a gap right there in the center where I just can't interact with it. So I'm not sure what that is. Might just be because the item collision shape is actually larger than my item slot collision shape. That would be my guess. So I'm going to make sure that the item slot collision shape on the Z axis is like a little bit longer so we don't have that issue. Let's try that. So hey, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. So that doesn't seem to have fixed that. Or actually, I think it's because I did it on the wrong axis. Because if you look at the... This is sideways, so... Yeah, we have to fix that. It's the wrong direction. Back into item slot. Instead of making the Z long, we need to make the X long. Now, if we look back in our world scene, wherever that is, right there. Now it's correct. Cool. Let's try that again. Think it would have been better if the player manually puts items there? Isn't that what we're doing? Hey, Brainoid, welcome in. How's it going? What have you been up to? There we go. Cool, now I can pick up the item. We're all good. I do need to push it down just ever so slightly. I think it's hovering above the plane, just like a touch. Yeah. Just pop that down right there. Okay. Not much. Getting for... Oh, yeah, that's in 9 days. I forgot about that. Replicat. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's really cool stuff. Congrats on all that, the publisher and everything. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I hope it goes really well for you. Yeah, it's been going good. I'm working on a new little side game right now. This is called Maze Game. Working title. Yeah, this is a survival horror roguelite. You're in this elevator, and your whole goal is to send out rovers, gather materials, store them in here, survive as long as you can. You can control your rovers on this little tablet here and send them out. Part of the big like gameplay of this game is dealing with different kinds of entities and slowly learning their behaviors and like how they operate. Different guys will have like kind of different sensitivities to things, so you have to be careful with like what kind of lights you're shining on people, and just yeah, it's really all about learning all those little you know, quirks. There's definitely some like heavy inspiration from games like FNAF. The whole like learning about guys and dealing with them, you know, the Freddy's movement patterns and stuff. It's kind of like that. So yeah, why not run out there by yourself? It's very dangerous, and I'm gonna get it set up to where basically almost all the entities instantly kill you. Because the whole idea is going on foot is supposed to be an extremely dangerous thing to do. Like, you shouldn't really ever go on foot unless you absolutely have to. That's the whole idea. Yeah, even Lethal Company has a similar pattern. Yeah, learning creature behaviors. I think it'll be pretty neat. I am also planning on creating like a dynamic bestiary. So it'll have a list of all the different entities, but only display information about things that you've personally observed, right? So that you do actually have to, like, if you want to learn and record behavior of creatures, you actually have to see it firsthand, right? So I think it'll be a good way to do it. I don't want to do just classic wiki route of here's all the information about everything in the game, because I think you kind of lose a big part of like that whole learning and exploration process. But having it just kind of integrated into the game as an unlockable thing practically, I think works way better. Because if you see a guy do a specific attack or have a you know, cower in fear from a bright light source, then it will automatically update in your little bestiary and be like, yeah. Did Lethal Company do that too? Yeah, I didn't even know. But I think it's just a good way to do it. It's going to be a little bit different from games like Lethal Company because this isn't going to be like a quota-based thing. It's definitely more just focused on survival. It's honestly, I think, primarily like a resource management game, right? Because the whole idea is you have to have food and water at the end of each day, right? So it's all about like managing or deciding what items do I decide to put on my shelf and take with me to the next level of the maze and stuff like that. Yeah, there's going to be traders that occasionally pop up in this window. I think it'll be pretty interesting. There's going to be a whole bunch of different kinds of mazes we add in and stuff. And yeah, there's going to be some FNAF elements of like having to shut the lights off and, you know, all the specific little things you have to do to avoid death. But yeah. When you see a monster, you can search them on the computer. Ah, okay, yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing, honestly. Let's go. But yeah. I think it'll be pretty neat once we get sort of the base gameplay stuff set up. Right now it's pretty rough around the edges, but I'm just like slowly chipping away at all these other little mechanics. I think things will start to feel a little bit more connected soon. Another thing is you do have to find 3 breakers somewhere in the maze to enable your elevator to actually continue on down. So that's something that we need to get implemented. There's gonna be like a soft time limit, sort of. Like it's not gonna be you know, you hit 10 minutes and you're dead. But I think at like 10 minutes or something like that per level, it starts just ramping up exponentially in difficulty. So you kind of have to get out. Kind of honestly, like Brainerd, what you did on your that duck game, you know, when you're on the boats for down a jam, where like it's not just like an instant death, but it's like you need to leave now. Right? But yeah, I think it'll be really cool. So far, like development's been going great. Been coming up with lots of really cool ideas, I think. So yeah, I'm excited for this. One of my big things is I want to get this game done fast. Honestly, I'm aiming for the Steam Next Fest in February for this game, just for a demo. That's kind of my goal right now. I think it's doable. I mean, it's not super far away, but that does give us like a solid like 3-4 months, I think, to get all the gameplay stuff set up and then just start building up vertically. Thank you for the bit, Bobby. I appreciate it. But yeah, definitely gonna be focusing on a nice vertical slice of the game. Soon as all the like base foundations are laid out. Yeah, I got the item stuff working pretty well. So that's pretty much good to go. I do need to work on like the actual rover upgrading system. I think that's going to be probably one of the more complicated things to do. Essentially, you'll just plop your rover down on the table and then it kind of opens up like a, you know, almost like I imagine it as like, thank you for the bit again, Bobby. I imagine it as the, you know, like the Fallout 4 weapon upgrading screen? Where it's like, you still physically see the, oh my god, you're just gonna send a million bits now. Kind of like this, where you like physically see the weapon that you're modifying. And I don't know if, hopefully I can avoid, oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna have to turn off alerts, so let's do that. While you're done, until you're done with this, Bobby. Okay, alert is gone. But yeah, something like this I think would be cool for upgrading your rovers. You're going to be able to craft different components out of scrap that you have in your storage and stuff like that, so I would like this sort of vibe where like you can physically click on the parts of your gun and drag and move things around. I think that would be a nice way to do it. We could just do some big UI, but one thing that I've really wanted with this game is trying to keep everything as diegetic as possible. I'd really like everything to be physically in the world, you know, instead of just this big UI that pops up, because it's kind of you know, not the best, I would say, for immersion. But yeah, that's how everything's been going though. It's doing good. Oh yeah, technically I think I can put rovers on this slot right now, which is not supposed to happen. Yeah, I need to fix that. I do want to have slots for the rovers, but they're going to be specifically under here. So I don't want them to just be right there. We'll have to, yeah, fix that. It's a super easy check. We just make sure, is the item a rover? And if so, don't let you put them on the shelf. It is only really designed for the smaller, like, food items and scrap and stuff, not for a rover. Yeah, let's go ahead and just add all the slots now to this. This one can be scooched more toward there. Rover's a big item group. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. We're basically just going to have a different slot down there that's for large items like rovers and stuff. I think I might need, perhaps, like a little bit more width on this shelf. I just can't quite fit that third slot in. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't think it has to be enormously larger, but we still got a little bit more space over there next to the generator, so we should be okay. Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's just do that first so we can kind of gauge like where the edge is. And then we can, I can also shift this over a little bit to the left also, so it should be okay. Yeah, that would be okay there. And this can move to the left a little more. So let's extend it out just a little more. I'd rather have this be too wide instead of like clipping things, you know. Then move this over, and I think we should be good. Oops. Right there. Then move all these guys over right there. Let's try that out. Yeah, don't allow big items in small storage. That's probably what we'll do. Okay, now I can shift this all over. There we go. 4 items, perfectly spaced. We will have to have some very light saving mechanics. Like, it's not going to be too crazy or anything. But I do want to have sort of like a, not like something that you can go back to, but just if you exit out before you've died, you do have the option of just resuming from where you were. So it's not really like a checkpoint save system, but it is like a, you know, you can quit and pause the game and then come back later. But if you die, then that's it. Your save is gone. There's no, like, coming back from that, so. Okay, that seems to be working. Just need to add more items now so I can test it all. Yeah, it looks so stupid with the rovers in there, but we're gonna fix that. Let's just go ahead and do that now while I'm here. We can just say here, we don't have it. If we do have it, if global.player.held, snooze that ad really quick, is rover, or is not, then we can return true. Let's try that out. So that shouldn't let us put rovers in anymore. Yeah. Then we can put our funny little items down. Looks like all these slots are working pretty well. I do want to have like a little bit of like a glowing effect for when you're hovering over this, just so it's a little more obvious that there's like a slot here. Maybe just a little like kind of glowing square of the position of where this item's going. I think just that little tiny thing would help. Yeah, this is working pretty well. No issues there. You can crouch down if you really want to get down to business with like organizing, you know. But yeah, I want to keep the inventory of this place very small. I don't want it to be too big. The whole idea is that you do have very limited storage, so you have to make those hard decisions of what do you actually want to bring back. All right. So yeah, that's all working. Over align yourself. I don't know why sometimes after alignment I can't rotate the rover still. That is kind of a bug that I'm gonna have to work out. I'm not sure what's up with that. There's still some weird rover alignment stuff I need to work on, but I don't think it'll be too hard. Okay.
This camera movement is weird.
Camera movement is weird with the rovers? I mean, it's meant to be a little, like, on purpose, not as, well, so thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. We just hit our follower goal. Let's go. It'll do the alert in just a second here. Thank you very much for being the 1700th follower. Let's go ahead and, change the goal now. Let's end that goal. Start a new goal. Boom. Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So yeah, by camera movement, do you just mean specifically with the tablet? Like controlling the rovers, or a different camera? Like the player camera? Yeah, once the rover hits the wall back here, it freaks out. I'm gonna have another check for the rover to see if it can actually navigate, because I won't let the rovers navigate into the elevator. It's not how it's gonna work. Yeah, with the rover. I don't know, I think it feels pretty intuitive. I do have it set up with WASD also, so honestly it just feels kind of like walking around. Really, I think once you mess with it for a couple seconds, you start to instantly get the idea. So I'll probably even get it set up so you can just hold down WASD and this button stays pressed, so that you can just keep moving and not even have to keep letting go and pressing it over and over. It'll just feel even more intuitive, I think. So yeah, it's really not too bad. The rovers, of course, are supposed to be not as like good as walking on foot, you know? I think having that a little bit of like a separation between your like rover navigation like that and the world you're in is good. I don't want it to feel like you're controlling a rover and you're just a guy walking around. Like, it should feel like you're remote controlling something. And I gotta fix that. Sometimes the camera freaks out and you can like see the rover. I don't know why it does that. Well, maybe it depends on the rotation of the rover. Like, I bet if I'm going to the side, maybe it doesn't happen. We'll have to see. Be happy boy now. Let's go. Got your spin in. Yeah, we gotta fix that. It must be moving on the Z-axis, I guess. Let's see if does it happen if I go to the side. Oh, it still does. It's kind of interesting. I guess I can just go into the rover scene and just offset the camera anchor a little bit, and that's probably the only issue here. Because it is quite close to there. Let's just push it forward a tiny bit, so that doesn't happen as much. Like, what do I do for the camera vibration? I mean, it shouldn't be that bad. Let's rotate rover. Let's align rover. So camera offset. We have the target offset. That's with the camera shake. Yeah, I don't think it would be doing anything super crazy. And it's only moving on X and... yeah, Y, so it shouldn't be moving back and forth on the Z-axis. Should be okay. Let's try this out. Should feel mostly okay now. Yeah, it's not doing the clipping anymore. Should have set a little bit more of an offset. There's probably just a very slight delay between its position and its new position. Since it is in the physics process, I think. I do like that feeling of like having to kind of go out to pick up your rover. Like, it's not a big thing, but it's that, just that little bit of like, you know, ooh, you're in the scary zone. Obviously, you're not really in much danger just standing right outside your elevator, but I guess it's just more of the principle of it. Yeah, we need to fix the collision here. I just can add a collision box that's just set to layer 1. It's pretty easy to fix. So let's do that really quick. Well, actually, I have to be careful because I don't want items to collide. Not to see. I can just set a tiny little like collider just at the like floor to just stop the player from going in there. But I don't really want to block it for like block items. I'm not sure. I'll leave it for now. I might think of a better solution. Okay, so we got the shop window. That's another thing I wanted to get working. Also, I would like to get item generation started. It would be kind of cool. Let's mess with that for a minute, because I want to see if we can start working on that. So, we're just gonna have a function called generate item. It's gonna get all these positions again. We're gonna get a chosen position. We're gonna load our item 2D scene. We're gonna set the global position of our item. All right. And I'm probably gonna say this. We need to say chosen position dot y is equal to like 0.5, just so we don't have it clipping into the floor. And this is where we're also going to choose a random ID. I will have an actual weighted item selection thing, but for now we're just going to say for I in global.items table. And also inside of here, I want to mark one of these things as being like a 2D item specifically. All right. So we're going to say for ID, item is global.items table.get ID. If item dot 2D, then we add it to our list. Dot push back ID. And we won't really have to do this check anymore because we're gonna have like a weighted item system, so it'll be better, but I don't know why this is complaining. Expected that after if condition, which it's right there, isn't it? Maybe I can't say that like 2D. It's probably what it is. Oh, great. Now I can't find the class world and everything. It's so fun. All right. PlayStation or Xbox? Definitely PlayStation. Xboxes are way too expensive. There's not a lot of super great games on them. I mean, there are good games, but most of them are also for PC, so it's kind of like there's not really ever a reason to play Xbox for me, at least. I just like PlayStation more, the games on there and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if that was an option, I would just pick PC. But if I had to pick a console, it would be PlayStation. PS5 is pretty good. It's nice that it's backwards compatible with all the PS4 stuff. My only really like issue with the PS5 is just there's not really a whole lot of like games that utilize its what it is, which is too bad. It's not a hardware problem, but yeah, just a software issue is really what it is. So, chosen position. We're gonna say var chosen ID is. Also, welcome in, Spencer. How's it going? How are you doing? Let's make this a type of item 2D. Item ID. Alright. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're going to try. Why is this saying that it's bad? Like, you get item. I don't know what the issue is here. It's like saying it's unused or something. Is it because it's a repeated variable from this one down here? That's probably what it was. I like Xbox more just for the fact that it's square and fits better than my space. I mean, that's totally fair, yeah. The PlayStation 5 design is kind of odd. I'm not gonna lie. It's weird to fit it into places, but, you know. Okay. The child. So this is just going to be in the center of each room right now. I do want to change that so it's kind of more on the edges of the rooms because I think it just makes more sense that way. Also, I imagine most of the time you're not just going to randomly find items in the hallway. I think most of the time they're going to be either spawned in from an entity or you have to go into a room to get items. But all the items have spawned. You can see it's all just going to be water. There's probably, yeah, a lot of items on the same positions. Let's just start bringing this all back in. We're going to put those down. He's going to giggle at me. And we're going to make it so the rovers can pick up items. That's the whole idea with the rovers. Because if you're going on foot in here, you're going to be alerting enemies. It's going to be a bad time. Most entities are not going to be aggressive to rovers, right? Because they're just little gizmos. It kind of fits into the environment anyways. I don't see why they would get angry. But you're made out of food, and loud and noisy and big, so they're going to want to eat you. Yeah, we can just put all our items in here now. Pretty epic. Look at that storage. An upgrade should be a rover net where if you go over an item, it'll pick it up. I mean, we're going to have a button that you can press, an interact button on the console. That'll just automatically pick up whatever items nearby. So I don't know if a net would necessarily be super useful, but could be neat. I don't know. I'll have to think about how that would work. The giggler, yeah. He's gonna like alert enemies nearby when he does that laugh, so it's not just a useless giggle. Wasn't there another item here somewhere? Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. Full shelf of items. Epic. We're also gonna do a little neat shader. I was going over this with Zach, and I think it'll be pretty cool. You guys will see what I'm talking about. It's gonna be a little annoying to get it working, but I think it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Yeah, the shelf is working just fine. It's not really anything else to do there. Obviously, we have to give it materials and stuff, but that's like not a big deal. A Roomba that can pick up items for you. I mean, I just don't know if a Roomba would make sense because we already have rovers, which are practically Roombas. I guess like maybe some kind of chip you could install into a rover to make it automated, so it just kind of randomly goes around and picks up stuff for you. But I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to think about how that would fit in. I'm pretty sure I've said this multiple times, but one of the big like principles of this game is I want to make sure everything that we add in is extremely purposeful, right? I don't want anything that just kind of feels random or useless. Like anything we add into this game has a very valid use case and competes with everything else in the game in terms of its practicality, right? But yeah. Yeah, gripper arm. Something like that I think could be neat, like the distance you can grab things from. It's possible. Well, Starground plush. I could find a way to make it practical. We can make it so when you press it, maybe it's something. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But yeah. Yeah, hey bro, that's definitely something I want to do. I want to have like some items like that are distraction items that emit like a noise or light or something like that. I think it would be really neat. Something that you could also just attach to your rover and just drop from your rover too, right? So you don't have to actually use them on foot always. You can just use them for your rovers too. I think it would be pretty nice. But yeah. Lures monsters. Yeah, it probably would. If you press it, they will come. Yeah. Yeah, it is a morale booster. That's true. That's true. That's pretty useful. I'm gonna stop spending points till I have 150k. Alrighty, alrighty. Give the rovers cannons. They need protection. I don't know if the rovers will. I don't think like another like, you know, rule that we've kind of set for this game is we don't want any way to kill the monsters. Like this game is really not about that. Maybe there's ways that you could temporarily stun them or distract them, but I'd never want it to be just like, okay, kill this guy and now I'm safe on this maze. Like it should always be, they should be permanent parts of the environment, I think. I need to add collisions to all these. But yeah. Steam Keena's skin? Yeah. Stuff. What if you could put Starground plush on the rover and make the button squeak? And maybe. Who knows? Yeah, we'll see. I do need to fix the, or like actually make this more integrated to the elevator. Because right now you can see when it opens up, it's just the wall. I need to add a hole that goes into pure blackness so it doesn't look weird anymore. We're gonna have a guy that starts sticking his fingers out of the hatch, you know? So you gotta make sure that thing stays shut. It's kind of fun to throw things around, honestly. That mechanic will be very useful when we get into the stuff like you mentioned, Abra, like distraction items, because you don't want to obviously drop a distraction item right where you're standing. That's kind of bad. So the whole idea is like there's a curve around the hallway or something. You throw it around and then you run the other way and go a different direction. But yeah. Welcome in, Sire. How's it going? Yeah, things are coming along here. Is that clipping with the pipe? No, it just looks like it was. I think I might change these little strands here to be 2D images, kind of like how these pipes are. I imagine these as like electrical conduit or something. Right now they're really just mainly decoration, but I think it looks cool. That's something that we really want to hit with the visual style of this game, is that combination between 2D and 3D elements. I think can look really neat. It also does save us a lot of time with development, which is a big important thing. You can see this guy in the darkness. He'll get angry. Ah, he's gonna get me. And he can go in the elevator. So yeah, if he goes in the elevator, you're kind of screwed. You lose. Oh my god, he's freaking out. Anyways, right now we're working on Maze Game. Working title. I still want to come up with a better name. I just don't know what the name's gonna be. I've been racking my brain. I'm not really sure. Because I want it to be like cool, but I don't want it to be over the top. I think games that have like super, you know, fancy embellished names are just hard to remember. I want it to be something really simple and, you know, but also it has to pertain obviously to what the game is. Ideally, the best kind of name is just like something you read and instantly get the idea of the game. And also something that's unique enough to where it's not just gonna get completely overshadowed by other search results online. So that's the thing. What mic do I have? I have the Shure SM7B. It's a pretty nice mic. It's a dynamic microphone. It's not cheap, but you know, the thing is, like with stuff like this, I use this microphone every day of my life, so it's kind of worth it for me to invest in something that's really good quality and is going to last a long time. Because when it gets to that spot of like something that you use constantly, it's actually, I find for me, it's just more worth it to spend the money on something better. It ends up being cheaper in the long run. Like getting a really good mic, I don't have to constantly buy new microphones and waste money, so. But yeah, it's a nice mic. Rusted wheels, elevator shift, deep down, depths of seat. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things I'm just gonna have to keep thinking about. Maybe we need to do like a raffle. Like everybody submits two different, like, or two or three different name ideas. So Sarah, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I activated the funny guy. I do want to set up some code so that we can actually lose aggro on this guy, because the problem is once he does aggro on you, you're just dead. So we gotta fix that. Under donut? I don't think that'll work. Going deep. I don't know. Because the whole gameplay loop is continuing down deeper into a maze. That's essentially what this place is. It's a maze. Because there's no like map, there's no like, you have to rely on landmarks and everything that you see around you to figure out how to get through this place. It's just kind of why a maze game works so well. It'd be crazy if we get to the end of development and maze game is the best we come up with. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know what else would be. We're pretty sure that's already done. Maze game. Spooky, scary maze. Descend the maze. Maze of descent. Layers of maze. Maze layers. Yeah, I don't know. Maze game's an amazing name. Yeah. I don't know. We might get to that spot and just realize we can't come up with anything better, and we might have to call it Maze Game. Maze Game does have a certain charm to it, though. Honestly. So, I don't know, maybe. Do I push this game at GitHub? Not yet. Probably won't be doing that for a while. I'm not sure if I ever will. We'll have to see. Because this is going to be a commercial project. I think maybe at some point if people are actually interested in modding and stuff, but otherwise it'll probably just stay closed source. But yeah. What's all this stuff? View controller. Yeah, we can get rid of that stuff now. Okay, we've got the item spawning set up, but I'm going to make the item spawning more interesting. Obviously, right now it just spawns in the center, but I think that's just sort of placeholder. I'm going to make it actually be more interesting. We're going to have different meshes and models and things that spawn on the edges of the corridors, so it's not just going to be a completely empty area. But that gets into like the style of the place. We'll have to see. Like, I think the top level is going to be sort of like think of like an abandoned school or something. Like on the surface with like holes in the ceilings and stuff. So there's like some light rays coming through and covered in plants and vines. And that's the vibe on the top. And then probably as you descend deeper, things get a little more scary and dark. But yeah. This game looks very interesting. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hopefully, this game does well on Steam. We'll see. I'm not really holding my breath or anything. I mean, there's no telling, honestly. You can do all the right things and you can market and everything, but you never really know how well a game is going to do until it's out. Like, there's games that have had hundreds of thousands of wish lists and then it's complete flop on launch. With mixed ratings and stuff, you know? So it's like, you just don't know. Wishlist count can be a good indicator, but it's not the end-all be-all, you know? Oh, 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 oh. Oh, wait, is this a maze? Maze evader? Maybe. I don't know. Naming stuff is always so hard. Like, I don't know. It's because it's like, it's just so important. It's like, that is the thing that defines your entire game. Like, that's the thing everybody's going to see and refer to it as. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, but it's just like, I don't want to pick something I would regret. Right? That's kind of my, my whole thing. So I'm gonna mess with this texture now. I'm probably gonna do no filtering on any of these textures, so just nearest. And I think we're gonna decrease the resolution of this image. Because right now it's 1024. Let's maybe knock it down to 256. We'll have to see. But we do a blue paint, normal and bump. I think some of these might be the roughness maps. Let's go ahead and scale to 256 and just see what that looks like. It'll give us a much more stylized vibe. Oops, I just closed one of them. Epic. I think that was the diffuse or something. That's the bump. What did I close? I think it was the diffuse, yeah. Pick a random file in the project and use that as a name? Yeah. Maybe. $6842. That's the name. That's the name. Swipe and survive. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Just have to keep thinking about it. Oh yeah. Look at that crunch, guys. I do want to fix the roughness map because you can see that it's like inverse because it's making the rust shiny, which doesn't make any sense. So I want to, I need to like basically invert the colors here. Adjust, invert. Nope, that's the wrong one. Wait, this one. Filter, adjust, invert, boom. And now I think that'll make the rust completely non-shiny. Yeah, that's better. That's what I want. Cool, looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll keep figuring out the whole vibe of all the textures and stuff as time goes on. These are mainly placeholders right now. But, yeah, we'll just have to keep messing around. There's this whole triplanar sharpness thing. I don't really know what that does. I don't know. There's so many different things you can enable in here, like backlighting and stuff. Like, I don't even know what this does. Like, what even is that? I don't know. Placeholder's a great name? Yeah, totally. There's a refraction. That would probably be really laggy. Like, what does refraction do? Is it just gonna refract light? Probably don't need that. Probably don't need subsurface scattering. That'd be pretty crazy. It's flesh. It's made out of flesh. Height. Oh yeah, this gives it a height map. Could see what it looks like if we applied it to the bump. But it doesn't really do anything. Maybe that only really matters for, I don't know, for lighting. Yeah. How many programming languages do I know? I've definitely dabbled with a lot of them. What is this, light effect? Ambient occlusion. I've messed with C++, C#, Java, JavaScript. I guess you could count maybe if it's you define that as a language, like CSS and HTML and all that stuff. Let's see, Java, Python, GD script. It's not that I'm really an expert in any of those languages, but I've used them before and I could probably use them again if I needed to. I would probably say most of those are not my preferred language. Like, I wouldn't really want to use... Oh, and also C. I don't know if I said that. Like, I probably wouldn't want to use most of those languages. I definitely wouldn't want to use Java, but I could if I really needed to, you know. Also, the inverse normal actually looks kind of epic on this because it's like the rust is like pitted into the metal. Yeah. Why would I not do it that way? I mean, this normal's all cool and all. It makes the paint kind of raised up like it's peeling. But I actually really like the divots like that. Set that to like minus 0.5. That looks pretty cool. So this should also now be applied onto the generator. Yeah, learning languages is actually pretty easy once you've learned a couple really well, because a lot of the same principles apply to all of them, right? So it just becomes like not that bad to learn a new language. Yeah, it's pretty nice though. This texture might be a little too small in the pixels. It's hard to say though, because like relative to the other ones, it's probably fine. So let's go ahead and do the same treatment then to our brushed metal. Might as well just be consistent. Set the sampling to nearest. The giggler. Minecraft. Yeah, that's a totally good idea. Totally gonna call it Minecraft, guys. Let's start applying... Oops, I just moved the entire elevator. Let's start applying materials to all these. These will be our regular... Nope, not that one. Type metal. These will be rubber. Rubber. These will probably be blue paint. And these will be pipe metal. Not metal mesh, pipe metal. And I would like to start doing different textures for the floors and stuff. The texturing in here is going to need so much more work. This is like really bad right now as far as the textures go. But we'll work on that. Super Mario Bros. Alright. So on our metal, our brushed metal, let's go ahead and start like changing the resolutions because that's way too high res. I think the brush metal, since it's a pretty repeatable pattern, we could probably drop that down to 256 also. So we want to do brushed, bump, diffuse, and normal. So normal, 256. Boom. This one, 256. Boom. And this one, 256. Boom. Now let's see what it looks like. Crunchy. Not even that crunchy, though. I guess it's because of how I have the scale set up on this material. Like, if I lowered the scale, then it would look more crunchy. Like to 0.25. Then I do have triplanar on. Triplanar is pretty nice. I don't know if it's going to cause a lot of performance overhead. It's much slower than normal UV texturing. Yeah, we'll see. Venturous. We got detail. I don't know what detail does. What does this do? A detail overlay. Oh. It lets you overlay another texture on top. That's kind of actually epic. Yeah. Because then you could just have another one on top that, like, gets overlaid on top like that. Look at that. I gotta mess with that. That's gonna be really good for breaking up the, like, monotony of all the textures. A fraction. Okay, so we got, well, we don't even have roughness or anything for this stuff, do we? No, we do. Ah, but it's metallic. We will give it some roughness. Then, apparently we're not using the normal map. I don't know why. Oh. Let's try that out. I do like the look of the normal maps, honestly, with this game, I think. Because the textures being low res kind of, it fits. It works. So. Yeah. I think this all looks pretty good. I think the only texture that stands out right now is maybe being too high res is the pipe metal here. Like maybe dropping that another, you know, divide by 2 again would be good. It might just be because of how I have the UV. Oh, it's pretty normal in there. What is the size of this stuff? It is 256, so it is small. I guess it's just, yeah, large. Let's lower the UV scale then, so that it looks a little better. To like 0.5. And now that fits in with pretty much the pixel size of everything else in this project. Yeah, you got the rubber. Like those hoses, the cork board. It's all looking pretty good. Yeah, we'll be redoing textures, like I've already said a billion times, but... I only see those eyes in the corner of my view, and I'm like... Ooh. I don't know why, but my brain tells me that's Herobrine. I know it's not Herobrine, but you know what I mean? I think my brain is conditioned to see 2 white glowing eyes in the distance and think Herobrine. I don't know. Herobrine! Yeah. Yeah, I got all the brushed metal. Yeah, I do like how the normal maps look, I think. Gives it a little spice. I think it's nice because I don't want this game to just fall in with all of the other billions of PS1 style horror games. Like, it does have that vibe, but I think making little changes like that can help it stand out, like having normal maps and stuff. It gives it like a low-res vibe, but the lighting is like upgraded, which is nice. So yeah, I'm happy with where these textures are at so far. Call this game These Things? I don't know. Everybody's the goat. Yeah. And we do have a bunch of new drawings also from Zach, which most of them are probably temporary, I imagine. But we can start bringing those in, because why not? So here they are. Boom. I don't know if they redid the water. I probably should have informed them that the water is bad and you can do it different. But it's fine. Yeah, here's all of our funny items. Pizza. Salad. I don't know what uncut salad has on it. Is that like frosting? Like, I don't know. Strawberry smoothie. Lollipop, sour candy. Shrapnel muffin. Pepperoni pizza. Meaty Caesar. Meat on the bone. Almond milk. Nut butter. Hot dog. A homunculus. Which I would assume that's an evil food. Then drink. Yo. I didn't even notice that it said that. Yeah, the mud cake. That'll be epic. Walnut and blueberries. Oh, it's ranch bacon and croutons. I see, I see. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Yeah, we can probably get these added in now. You go to the items table and just start doing it up. I don't know, again, if we need that little 2D tag, because I think I'll just define that in the items table, like the spawning chances, so we don't need to mark these as being 2D necessarily, but it doesn't hurt. I guess I'll keep it just to be safe. Also, I need to rename some of these. Just for future reference, it's no big deal, Zach, but I always name things just with all lowercase underscores. I mean, it doesn't really matter that these are named with the caps like that, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that I'm like specific about. Homunculus. Hot dog. Dot hog. Do camel cases is fine? Yeah, no, it's all good. I do camel case for all my variable names. Like if you look in the project, all the things are camel case, like all these. Speed, modifier, attack, target. But yeah. Strawberry smoothie. Spiral lollipop. Is that how you spell lollipop? I thought it was with an I. Yeah, it's an I. Shrapnel muffin. Demand a refund. Also, let's start defining the categories in here then. I'm just going to do an enum in global. Enum food category. Thank you for the bits, Bobby. Okay, I'm gonna have to turn off alerts again if this is gonna keep happening. We're gonna do that. All right, food categories. So we got meat, veggie, candy, baked, grains. Let me go look at Miro. I forgot. I already forgot. And we're gonna have a special one just called neutral. That's like good for everybody. Like so we can assign water and stuff like that into there. Maybe crackers or no, because crackers are made with wheat. I don't know. We'll see. It would be cool though, maybe to just have one kind of food item that doesn't give a buff, but everybody can eat. I'm not sure. But we can figure out if we actually want to do that. Just a random idea. Here it is. No, wait, wrong. Here are food types. Meat, grains, veggie, candy. And then, I guess grains is baked. I'll just call it baked. Nutty. And evil. Including free saltines, yeah. Everybody include my Roomba. Well, we're gonna have different characters you can play as that have different modifiers and stuff, so. I think that's all of them. So we got neutral, meat, veggie, candy, baked, nutty, and evil. Evil food is evil, guys. All right. So now we can assign one of these to each food type in here. We can say water is, let's say type. I'll say category is global.foodcategories.neutral. That'll do that. Okay. Moving on. Energy drink. I might need some help with what these categories are. Like, what category is the energy drink? Is that evil? Or is that, like, different? Is that sweets or... Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I might change that category to sweet instead of candy. Because it's not always candy. Oops. And I'll do those as, like, the adjective of what it is. So, a sweet item, a veggie item, a meat item, a baked item, a nutty item. Yeah. An evil item. Whoa. What does MG stand for? That just stands for maze game. So, basically doing sort of the same ID naming system I do in Starground, where I say Starground : and then item ID, but I'm just shortening it. Instead of typing out Starground, or in this case maze game, I just do MG. It's just faster to type. We end up with smaller IDs, which is nice to type. So, can you make music for this? I don't know if we're really gonna have music. I'm not sure how that's gonna work yet. The only thing we might have is just some little, like, kind of stings and, like, little sounds that play, but I don't know if we're gonna have, like, full musical tracks. We'll have to decide on that. But I think we're probably leaning no, but I don't know. Also, with this game, I think I'm fine with, like, swearing and alcohol and drugs. We can make it, you know, PG-13 plus. Because nobody's gonna care. I don't think little kids are gonna play this game anyways, probably. But if it is a problem, we can always have a mode that disables that. The main menu will exist, yeah. We might have a track on there, I suppose. I mean, you're welcome to. I don't know, like, I guess, yeah, the main menu would probably be the only place. But yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to volunteer for free with no copyright ownership, then that's totally fine. What do they, like, call this? You know, it's like cake, mug cake. I think that's, like, just what they call them. I'm just gonna do that so it's simpler. And also rename this to mug cake. Mug cake. That's gonna be sweet. Friggin' sweet. Yeah, I'll have to figure out the, like, empty and full things for some of these items. I'll just have, like, an alternate, like, on here, another image for empty. Otherwise, it'll just have a normal... Because I imagine a bunch of these, you just kind of... They don't have an empty state. You just eat them and they're gone, so... Sour candy is for sweet, right? So we got the mug cake, sour candy, and the energy drink, yeah. Game could have, like, ambient music. It could. I mean, I'll probably do... I mean, yeah, maybe, like, if it's ultra ambient. I definitely want it to kind of fit in with the vibe. Item... Meat. Meat on the bone. Meat chunk. Meat chunk. What do you, like, call it? Meat. Meat. Rib. It is like a rib. Meat on the bone. Is that an actual thing? That just is what it is. Meat on the bone. I didn't know that was a thing. Okay. Meat on the bone. I didn't know about meat on the bone, dude. Is that emoji called meat on the bone? Let me see what it's called. It doesn't let me see what it's called. Maybe. I love when the game screams at me. Okay. Secret paranoia stat increases the more you are in the dark. I might do something like that, probably. I do want the player to go a little insane. Pepperoni pizza. What is that category? Is that supposed to be like baked? It'll be obvious in game because I'll probably have like a little thing next to it that says what type it is, but yeah. Pepperoni pizza. Oh yeah, we also got our lollipop. At work? Nah, it's all good. We can I can go over this stuff again later. Pizza's baked, want his post perspectives. Okay, cool. And this is also sweet, this lollipop. Is this sour candy sweet? I mean, it is. It must be. Must supposed to be evil. Did you say 2 food types per, or is it? Let's see. Oh yeah, you're also talking about the elevator music. I would like to do elevator music. Nah, it's all good. Okay, so we have lollipop. Oh, mug cake counts as a drink, right? I forgot. No, it doesn't. Wait, does it? I don't know. We'll figure that out. Shrapnel muffin, that looks like a yummy treat. Drinkable cake is drink, okay. We got the shrapnel muffin. I presume that's evil. And then we got uncut salad. That's gonna be a funny little veggie guy. And then we got the vegetarian pizza. This also veggie. Strawberry smoothie. I presume that is veggie / fruit. Strawberry smoothie. We got wine. That's evil. Any alcohol is evil, guys. Vegetarian pizza goes in meat category? I don't think so. Got a jar of nut butter. Missing the R and oops. You were correct. Thank you for noticing that. That would have caused a lot of problems. Yeah, I'm totally an AI. I can't spell strawberry, guys. Oh, that should be nutty. Then we got the hot dog. I presume that's the meat category. Meat. Yeah, I don't know how many R's are in strawberry. Yeah. Homunculus looks pretty evil. So we'll put him in the evil category. I don't think I'd want to eat a little guy. That would be pretty, that'd be pretty bad. Let me see. Do I have everything in here? I got most of it. Hot dog, almond milk. See, guys, this game is actually a cooking game in disguise. No, it's not. Oh, is it spelled wrong? Homunculus. Well, that's spelled correct, right? Right? Oh, I spelled it with an O. Okay. Homunculus. Okay. I love when it doesn't detect the right image. Okay. Blood cake empty. The energy drink empty. Yeah, small man. Yeah. A meaty Caesar. That's how you spell Caesar, right? It's like Caesar. Meaty Caesar. That's probably meat, I assume. Okay, I think I've got most of these. Let's just start categorizing them in here so it's easier for me to do. So I'm gonna say region neutral. Region end. Region meat. Region end. Region. Copy paste this. I don't know, do it a million times. Nutty. Region end. Region. Evil. Evil. Region. Baked. Region end. Region. What's the other ones? Oh yeah, veggie. Region. Sweets. Region end. And I think that's everything. Okay. I was like, why is there so many regions called end? Yeah. Wait, am I doing it wrong? Oh, is it like end region? Oh, whoops. Yeah. Thank you for the bit, Bobby. I appreciate it. We're just gonna have alerts off because I don't want to get hit with a million bit notifications. Okay, so this is nutty. Sour candy. I do love sour candy, guys. I had an incident with sour candy recently where I had so much sour candy that my mouth started bleeding everywhere. And I was cooked. It was raw for days. It was really bad. But I love sour candy so much, guys. It was worth it. Maybe not worth it. But I think it was worth it. It's just too yummy, guys. I think we have, unless I'm missing something here, we have 4 things in sweets. Unless sour candy is supposed to be in a different category. But I'm not sure. If one of those needs to go somewhere else, let me know. Unless there just is 4 sweets, which is fine. Oh, mug cake is baked, not sweets, right? My bad, my bad. I figured it out. My bad. Uncut salad goes in a veggie. Yeah, my apologies. Fruit are vegetables. Technically they're not, but you know, normal people don't refer to those as not vegetables. Plants, vegetables. I don't know anymore. It's fine. Don't think about it too hard. Need to actually change the category value for these. Should be good to go. Oh, for the mug cake you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give these another look through once I got these all organized for sure. They got the nut butter. Into the nutty group. I'm quite nutty. Whoa, okay. Then we got the wine. It's evil. It's evil, guys. It's alcohol. You'll die. You'll get liver failure. Get cirrhosis of the liver. It's funny that we basically say eating a person and drinking wine is the same level of evil. Oh, excuse me. All right, then the meaty Caesar. I think we're missing just one baked good. So let's see. We got 3 meat, 3 nut, 3 evil. Only 2 baked. What am I missing in here? Oh, is vegetarian pizza supposed to be baked? And then the fresh blueberries is in the veggie category? Yeah, because it still has baked stuff in it, I would imagine. Might be confusing, but we'll see. We can always swap these things out pretty easily. And then we just need item blueberries. Pizza's baked, blueberries are veggie. Yeah. Oh, got it all worked out. Okay, that's all of the items. Let me go through one last time, make sure the categories are set. Meat, nutty, evil. Nope. Baked. Veggie, sweet. I think we're good to go. So now all of these items should spawn in the dungeons. Yeah. Vegetarian pizza, so sad. And then we can start just going through and kind of assigning like nutrition values to all of these. So how much food do they actually give you back and stuff like that. We start defining their different effects and everything. There's gonna be a whole load of things. So yeah, these items should be spawning in the dungeons now. If we just walk around for a minute, we should find one. Let me snooze the ad. Ooh, well turned around. Okay. Do need to fix that bug where you can still move while the game is paused. That's not really supposed to happen, so. Where are these items? I only have like 10 spawning in right now, I think. I think that's probably about a good number, honestly. Like if you really spent the time to search the entire place, you could fully fill up your storage rack. But we'll see. I don't think I want too much more than like 10. Because I don't want the game to get too easy. Obviously, it'll change, though, depending on, you know, stuff. So I realize, I think... Is this the full strawberry smoothie? It does have strawberries in there, so I guess it is. So yeah, all the drinks I'll have to give them a an empty Sprite as well, which it won't be too bad. Oh, it's meant to be an empty strawberry cup. Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, this, I think I accidentally did the empty Sprite. I must have. I only see one strawberry smoothie one, unless I'm just crazy. There's energy drink empty. There's no empty meaty Caesar. Did I just not import those, or are they just not there? We'll figure that out in a second. Hey, look, wine. Oh, yeah, we can just fill them with shader magic. So you just have all of the things as empty. Yeah, okay, okay. That's totally fine. We'll do that. I'll bring this wine now. Also, like, you don't have to stick with the style I did for the water. The water was kind of like a temporary little garbage Sprite, so we can go whatever style with this we want. I mean, this is good as just a placeholder, definitely, while we figure out, like, all the stats and everything, but yeah, we can, like, I know we've been talking about doing more of a painted style, so if that's what we want to end up doing, I think that's totally fine. He's after me. Yeah, yeah, I imagine. I mean, you got him done in like an hour or something. That's crazy. But yeah, that's all good. The dog, though, yeah. Need to look at that Sprite closer. Oh, there's a nut. Is it... Is that an actual... It's like on water. Is it on like a little thing of water? What is that? Oh, it's like foil. Okay. I see. It's pretty epic. Alrighty. We've reached the end of the maze, I think. But yeah, we got the item spawning working. Of course, I'm going to be tweaking that and changing the weights of each of the items and stuff, but this one curved dog. It is very curved, yeah. It's pretty crazy. Oh, we got a mug. I don't know if we're actually going to work on Starground today, because we don't really have that much time left. I do have to leave stream a little bit early, so I think we're probably just going to skip it for today. But I'll definitely be working on it more for the update. Because obviously the update's like on the 19th, so I really got to get things kind of finished up and finalized with the Starground. But yeah. So yeah, we need to add like nutrition values to all of these. We'll do that by just defining nutrition. Set that to like 1 or something, and then we also want to say food categories. I guess if it's in one of those, it already knows that it's food. I'll just specify in here water, true or false. Right. And if something has 0 nutrition, then that means it's inedible. So that's probably a good thing. We don't want everything to be edible. I guess let's let that ad run. Okay, so let's go through and define all these with being as water. Or let's not say water, because it's not like all of these are water. That might be confusing. But liquid. Down liquid. I didn't do any commas on these, so that's epic. That one's liquid. Wine. That's probably solid. I think the homunculus is liquid. Mug cake. Strawberry smoothie. Lollipop's probably liquid. It's not, guys. Alright, cool. So now we know which ones are liquid, which ones are not. And then the nutrition value, we'll set that on all of these. We'll figure out exactly, like, what these numbers equate to and everything, because I don't know if, like, you know, exactly what the... We'll figure all that out. Like, how much each of these give in terms of nutrition. But just right now, I'm going to set them all to 1, and we'll figure that out. So we have evil ads. Ads are in the evil category. My apologies, everybody. And I'll just use the same value for the nutrition of a liquid. I know liquid is not nutrition, hydration, but it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Okay, here we go. See, I don't think these items are something that you're just going to eat. Like, it's not like you're going to have a hunger bar that decrements. Like, it's just you need to keep them in stock to survive. That's essentially your quota. It's bringing back enough food and water. All right. So yeah, that's all set up and good to go. Yeah, I mean, I think the next, like, big thing, we can get items pick-upable by rovers, and then breakers. Those are the next things that would really kind of open us up to more things. So let's do that. We're just going to have a new check inside of rovers. If we're next to an item, go ahead and try and pick it up. So if I'm gonna need to know if I'm in. I mean, I guess I can just loop through all the items in the world. It's not gonna ever be that many, so let's go into the item 2D scene. Bop groups. Let's add rover can grab. So we can kind of define which items can actually be grabbed by a rover. Get tree. Get nodes in group. Can grab. If distance squared to item is less than like 64 or something because it's squared, then we can pick it up. We'll say var nearby item. Should be a type of item. And if we have one of those, we just break and stop the for loop, so. All right. And now I can't define that. That's super cool. All right. So that's just going to constantly look for things around, and if there's one, then we know that there's an item we can grab. So I think what I might do then is for this, we say on the rover scene, we can just have an item slot on top of the rover. Just like this. Boom. So that we can snap it to that one. We'll just do that temporarily, but yeah. Then we're gonna have another function inside of rover. Function grab item. Then we say if nearby item is valid. Also, let's only run this logic up here if there is... I guess we'll still run that. Yeah. Just as whatever item can be grabbed nearby, because we'll have to be able to, like, cycle through. So held item. And we also have to say temporarily held item dot remove from group. Rover can grab. Or actually, we just say this held item dot can grab is false. And then we set that same thing up here with the rover stuff. We say nearby item. Is that nearby item? Or no, that's only after we picked it up. Yeah. So we should be good. Oh, duh. The thing I need to check is this. If we can grab the item. All right, so we pick up the item. Now we're also gonna push it into the slot. So we say item slot dot current item is equal to held item. We actually do have to do this whole. Let's go ahead and then do this. So we have function hold item. Items type item. And then we just say that stuff, so current item is that. And then we're just going to call hold item with the global player held item. Alrighty. So that'll work there. Then we also need another function for function release item, which will just do all this. Put it right there. I have a Godot question. I got a second? Yeah, totally welcome to ask away. Hold item. I don't know why it's saying that's bad. I never know what the deal is with this stuff. Like, I think it would say in here if I knew, but I don't know. Oh, probably because... No, because... Oh, it's because hold item is not used on anything. Current... Yeah, I have to say current item is equal to item, I think. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I realized I was doing wrong. Okay, so now we can call that stuff without actually having to directly interact. So in grab item, we can say that, and then also in item slot, we say hold item, held item. And actually, that already does that automatically, so we don't even need to do that. So yeah, that should work. Because hold item will say can grab is false, so that should stop that from being possible to interact with. Okay, so back to the tablet. Now we're going to go to the interaction button and connect that signal up. So that's all we say, activerover.grab item. That's only if there is a nearby item. All right. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see if this all works out. We're going to make that button start flashing when there is an item that you can pick up, so it's obvious. But can grab on an item of no. Oh, I just need to make sure if actually we have a nearby item. Or no, that's what I need to do. That, yeah. Excuse me. Okay, so now this rover, we can control it. And he should pick up that item. Gonna go bop. Whoa. Look at that, he's holding an item. Now I can move him around and he should keep that item on him. Let's see if we can like see him. That's because the slot doesn't actually move with him, I forgot. Right? Or no, the slot should move with him. It's probably just because the slot doesn't actually update the position actively. Let's figure out why. Let's just give it a process event. Yeah, that's probably all it is. Just do that, and now the item should stay tracked. Let's try this again. Boom, I pick up the item. Now it just chills on there. And, oops. Rotate twice, so now we're good. Now let's move. Whoa, check it out. He can hold items now. And then you can see this is the nice thing. Now I just come along and I want to get this item from him. Pick up the item. We're good. Boom. So the whole like loop then is you send your rover out, you find the item, you pick it up, and then you're good to go. Alright, so let me read this message here. Doing early prototyping. I'm trying to use some K-Kit models, but with, yeah, the Mixamo animations. Try to repair the Mixamo T-pose rig to the model, but get a bone heat issue. With like, by heat, you're talking about like weight painting, I presume? Currently I've tried remapping the bones in the bone map. It's only really the arm bones seem to fail on import. But I can't seem to change them in a way that'll make the bone go green like the others. I don't know. Unfortunately, I haven't done a ton of rigging, like character rig stuff in Godot. So yeah, you're just having like import issues. The way that I have always imported any rigs into Blender is, or into Godot, is just as the rig. The rig is like the top level node, and then everything else should inherit from that. Yeah, I don't know. I've tried to do this kind of stuff before, I messed around with doing a, like trying to do ragdoll physics, but it was definitely complicated. Because the thing is you have your like actual rig, and then if you want to modify bones in Godot, you have to have like another rig. I mean, sometimes I think it can import both. I don't know. It was really complicated though, when I was trying to do that. Yeah, I guess that's how you would do it. I know that there's like a node in Godot. Again, I'm not super familiar with like all the ins and outs of rigging with Godot, but I know there is a skeleton 3D node that you can use, but it might already import that. I'm not sure. Yeah, honestly, I think in this case I would probably just recommend watching some tutorials on the whole process of importing a rig. I wish I knew more about it to help, but I just haven't. Yeah, I just haven't really bothered with it that much. Really, as far as I've gone is just import a rig, everything is fine, and then I have pre-baked animations, right? So yeah, I'm just not sure. Yeah, the bone armature aspects are super convoluted and complex. Yeah, it's complicated. Also, sorry, K-Mac, yeah, you have a question about making a cutscene. It's basically tweens on a camera 2D. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty easy way to do it. Usually, whenever there's any kind of like cutscene thing, I just have a variable. Actually, I'll show you. For my player, what I have set up is actually a list of things that can block input. So I just call it input blocks. It's just a dictionary, and each one has a different ID. Where he's saying, yeah, sorry I couldn't help anymore. I think I would just try and watch some videos of the whole process, see if there's anything in those videos that you notice you weren't doing, or figure out exactly like what stage is, yeah, causing the problem. But yeah, I wish I could help more. Yeah, I first, the pipeline of doing a cutscene is you block your player from being able to do movement somehow. You just do a check down in all of your checks here, like if I can input, then do that. You can do sort of what I'm doing. I have like different IDs for different ones, so like I block it when I'm dead, or I block it if I have UI open. So you can have multiple things that are blocking the UI. Otherwise it gets tricky, because like if, let's say that you have, just to draw this out really quick, do have to end stream here in just a sec, but let's talk about this. Ice amulet. The reason I do that whole input blocking thing is because let's say you have UI over here and death or whatever, right? So let's say you're dead. You have now, let's say this is just if you have one variable. You say, okay, set this variable to true, right? Because I've died. This is like your input block variable. But then over here, you just opened a UI and that also sets that same variable to true. So let's say you close your UI, now you send another thing to say set that back to false, right? So now that's false. But the problem is, you're still dead. Now that variable is false, all of a sudden you can like move and do all your inputs, which is bad, right? So the way I basically do this so I don't run into this problem is I have these basically, like I was saying with the dictionary, set two different things. So I set this one to true and this one to true. And then I just loop through all of these, and as long as all of them are, you know, false or whatever, then I can move. It's just a better way to do it, so that you end up with one that's the representation of all of these. But yeah, anyways, after that, if you want to do camera movement stuff, yeah, I would just do tweens. Tweens are a really good way to do that. The other option is you also have the animation player node. And this can do some more like complicated sequences. It might be pretty useful for doing a cutscene. I like tweens because I just think there's a lot of granular control. But you could, yeah, just like add in, you can create a new animation here. You can say plus and like position track of your camera. And then you can just control how your camera moves around and stuff. So that's another really easy way to do it too. I would look into animation players if it's a more complicated cutscene. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Okay. I still gotta figure out the weird performance issues. I am curious to see what happens as soon as I end stream, if it like runs just fine. It probably will. I have an inkling that it's just some kind of like, it's probably all the Twitch rendering stuff that I have set up that's causing performance issues on my computer, because it is very intensive. Because I bet if I go in here and look, it's like the script functions are nothing. But yeah, if we look in the visual profiler, you can see that's where the... I am using my GPU to stream, so I just imagine that it's just my GPU is struggling right now. Also, SSAO is enabled and having an impact, but it doesn't even do anything, so let's just go disable that again. How did trader stuff go? Yeah. I will message you about that, because I do have like the room kind of defined. I think I know what I'm gonna do for the layout, but honestly I would like to kind of go over that and figure out exactly what we want to do here. Because this is what I have set up now. I imagine we have a little window here where you put the item into like a slot. The window closes over and then it opens back up with the new item. And maybe this above it has like all the little lists of the trades, and then this would be an open window where the guy is talking. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. But yeah, I will DM you about it and we can figure out exactly the layout. Because I don't know if this is... I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'll do that just right after I eat dinner. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, gamers. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, sorry we didn't get to Starground, but it's okay. I do have to end stream here, so We're gonna go raid out. Let's raid Mr. Gunawatch, because he's also working on a funny little horror game, I believe. If he's still working on that project, we'll see. He might actually know more about that kind of stuff with the rigging. Fortnite. Yeah. All right, we're gonna start the raid. Thank you everybody for coming to the stream today. I appreciate it. My whole computer is lagging. You probably see how low the FPS is. It's not. I'm not even doing anything. I think I do need to change my encoder settings. Look how laggy I am. Something's wrong on my computer. Let me look at the task manager super quick while we're still live. My CPU's fine. Yeah, my GPU is just peaking. What's using it? I mean, it must be OBS, I imagine, but can't actually see what specifically is using my GPU. But it's got to be OBS, so I'm gonna work on figuring out how to make that not die. So yeah. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Feel free to grab Starground, join the Discord. And we'll be live again on Wednesday. So see you all then. We'll probably be really cracking down on Starground stuff. So yeah, thank you, gamers. I'll see you around. Bye-bye. Thank you for the cheese time.